Okay, looks like we're live.
How many fucking races do you want me to do?
I don't know, but cool.
Okay, I can talk. Okay, I don't have to keep talking to this bitch.
What's good? What's good, everybody? I don't know how much or how. Let me see here. Colin, real Colin composition. It does not look like it. There we go. We are. Hooray! Because for some reason they don't ever let me see the comments on
Man.
Streamlabs for some stupid reason. But yeah, we're here. We're live. We're doing a little bit of nothing. But yeah, I got my brother's shirt on, not Jared. So if he sees this video and he's like, "This nigga got my shirt on," I got his shirt on. I'll let it be known.
Is this live? Is this mic live?
Yes, live.
I didn't pay attention to a word. This nigga just said he wanted me to do.
Yeah, that mic is live. Granted, you do got that fan right there, so it's kind of blowing on it. So to like make sure you're fully heard, you might want to like talk directly into that bitch. But yeah,
It's not that loud. It's not that hot in here anymore.
we gotta honestly turn the air on more. You know.
Man.
Let me see. Let me see if you're how well you're heard or not. I like how it says there's one person watching, but on Streamlabs it says nobody.
You be a little slow with the shits.
You should be good though. I don't know if it does hear me. That's crazy.
Does it hear me though?
Yeah, it hears you.
Church.
Church.
Is it loud though, or is it like? I feel like I moved it a lot closer. I don't know if it's making a difference or not.
I don't know. Here, we can test
What
it.
am I doing?
Um,
Wants me to go to watchtowers. Okay.
let's see. We'll go.
Guess they said I could have one of these horses also. Sheesh. Wow, those only do her dumbass races. Wow.
Hey, what's up, Camille? How you doing?
It wasn't. It was. It was kind of. It's kind of loud. I guess also the TV's probably down too.
It's yeah. That's the sound off of my off the computer.
What am I doing? Oh yeah,
But you can be heard.
watchtowers. Church. So we're on Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. I'm doing fine, Camille. We're just got my brother here. We're can get some sort of conversation dialogue cracking. I don't know exactly what we're talking about. He was telling me something about something his best friend posted on Facebook. I don't know if we're trying to go down the rabbit hole.
I mean, I don't know. mean, who's here? How
Um,
do I take damage from that? I
a
slid down.
friend I know from high school.
So, what do you want to talk about?
So, what do you want to talk about?
We can talk about.
I mean, honestly, we can just segue to different topics. I mean, we can go from here to there to there to here. I mean, I guess you can talk about you think your boy Jey Uso's gonna keep his title for much longer.
Jey Uso already lost his title.
Oh my God, for real?
He lost his title on Monday.
I didn't. Yeah, see.
On Monday Night Raw. To Braun Breaker because the bloodline interfered, of course.
Oh wow, that's disgusting.
But I always knew this is how it was going to go down. That's what I said. If they ever let Jay win a title, it's probably, if they do it at the end of this year, it's not going to last long because Roman's back. The bloodline story is back. He's a part of the bloodline. And inevitably, that's just where he's going to end up. At least until this current run is over, which is, I don't know how long that's going to be. Probably whenever, like, The Rock goes away, like, for real. Which, I mean, I guess he works. He's, like, on the board of TKO, which owns WWE. So, he's always going to be around in some capacity. But he's, like, 50. And, I mean, it's The Rock, so he's in great shape. But
He's our new McMahon.
the end game is Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, which is probably going to be next WrestleMania, which is going to be in 6 months in April. So then after that, then Jay can probably finally like actually be his own man. But again, like the bloodline is more than just a storyline. It's, you know,
I had to leave the
They're
family
actually-
to be my own man. Oos.
yeah, they're actually family. So he'll always be a part of the bloodline in one way or another. But they might actually allow him to be his own man, separate from Roman, and maybe win a world title. I don't know. I don't think Triple H honestly likes him enough to allow him to win a world title because, you know, people are like, oh, well, you know, in ring he's not this and in ring he's not that, in which Hulk Hogan wasn't all that in ring either. But this isn't the '80s, so people do care about that stuff. But also, you know, there's a lot of guys that have. Trying to think recently world champions that aren't great in ring. I can't really think of any like recently. Cody's kind of great. Roman's great. Gunther's great.
Hey, you really like Gunther like that?
Well, he's a great wrestler. He's also good. He's also a good character. His character is good. His character is basically.
I guess the fact that I don't like him it makes him a good character.
I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah, that was kind of the point.
But it's just like it's to the yeah. I didn't like Gunther really at all at first. I wasn't a fan of Gunther like at all when I first got back into wrestling. I was alright. This thing's kind of boring. He kind of just like his matches are slow, but I mean they're usually entertaining depending on who he's in the ring with. Even his match with Sami Zayn, who I despise.
He's a clown.
It was a good match, but
Super
it's not even really
clown.
that I despise Sami Zayn. I just don't.
I do.
I don't know why he's in like the world title scene. He shouldn't be challenging for world titles. Like that was his peak was beating Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, and then that's like it. But they keep trying to like make it seem like he's a real threat, which I think that's part of the reason why I do like Gunther, because he basically told Sami Zayn like, "You're not on my level. Like, stop talking to me." Like it was one thing when you beat me for the Intercontinental Championship, but now I'm World Heavyweight Champion, and you're not. You're just not him. Like you're
just not him.
You're not of that caliber to be challenging for world championships in WWE. He's a comedy character. He's R-Truth, basically. He's white R-Truth.
R-Truth needs a respect. Give R-Truth.
I mean, he's a funny guy.
He's a
but,
funny
you know,
guy.
He's 50.
Man,
And he's way past his prime. He never really was like
his hairline is past his prime.
world champ. He never really was world championship material in my eyes. But then again, I guess I would say in his heyday, I wasn't really watching wrestling, but his heyday just really wasn't in WWE. By the time he got to WWE, he was already old. And it's cool. I like wrestling is goofy at its core, so you do need you know
I,
goofballs around.
I will say this though, to the fact of like, you know, the rodeo clown aspect of like our truth and stuff like that. When it comes to people who get titles like that, it's normally like those tag team titles. And when him and the Miz had it, it was definitely like the goofiest moment ever. But it was so stupid.
Yeah, I mean the Miz is kind of that guy too. He's kind of just there to be like goofy. Like the Miz had his time where he was world champion. I think he was world champion like twice, which is insane. I think one of the ones he won Money in the Bank. I think one time I don't quote me on this. I think he beat
Whiskey,
WrestleMania and John Cena. I think he beat. I said beat WrestleMania. I think he beat John Cena at WrestleMania
oh,
once, which is insane.
this nigga Champ said, "What's up, horse?"
John Cena is like him. They called us Q whores. I don't know what that means, but yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that nigga's not. The Miz is definitely past his prime. He's more just like comedy relief now, and like I did feel bad for our truth when the Miz turned on him, but like the Miz is
That
just
was
like
goofy as fuck.
kind of a scumbag, and that's just that's his role. He's just like a scumbag. Our truth is goofy. You're supposed to feel bad for like the goofball nigga. Like, oh man, he's just here to make us laugh and have fun, and he was trying to make the Miz laugh and have fun with the Miz, and the Miz is like, yeah, I'm a scumbag, so.
You think the New Day is gonna accept him?
New Day. I mean,
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I'm not gonna lie. The New Day is kind of cooking with this Xavier Woods slow heel turn that they're doing. Xavier Woods is actually trying to become, which that's one. Xavier Woods needs to become his own man at some point, which I guess that's what they're moving towards. I don't know how old that nigga. I guess it doesn't really matter how old he is because these niggas be well into their 40s and still be going. AJ Styles is like 47. LA Knight's like 43. Like these niggas be old as hell. And oh man, R.I.P. AJ Styles, man. He just came back and then he got injured. He broke his foot, and they say he's gonna be gone for like at least a year.
Man.
Which I mean, I guess it's possible he could come back sooner, but age is a factor. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks because he's already
No,
like
it's
at the
not.
tail
CM
end of
Punk
his
still
career.
wrestles.
You said what?
I said no, it's not. CM Punk still wrestles.
CM Punk is damn near 50 also, but when it comes to injuries, it definitely your body's just not the same. It just doesn't work the way it used to.
Man, tell these guys to get it together. But Ric Flair wrestled till he was 110. He's still alive.
Nah, that nigga Ric Flair definitely is old as hell and should not have wrestled nearly as long as he should have. But they kept giving him a check, so why not? I mean, I can't be mad at him for taking a check.
Man.
Ric Flair is old as hell. But yeah, so Xavier Woods, they're kind of like hinting at a split up of the New Day, which I don't know if that's gonna happen because I don't know if Xavier Woods can really last as his own man. He's the only one out of the New Day who never was world champion. Biggie, rest in peace, was world champion. Kofi Kingston was world champion.
Biggie's haircut.
Nah, his hairline.
The edge up all the
clapped.
way around.
His shit is absolutely clapped.
Clapped.
But yeah, so I mean, the New Day's kind of cooking with that, and I feel like it would regress if they brought in R-Truth. But I guess they can use R-Truth as a plot device to kind of, fully turn Woods heel. I don't know when they're gonna like actually pull the trigger on it, because like him and Kofi have been getting into it or whatever. And then he kind of feels like Kofi's just like doing shit, without including him. He's just like, oh well, we're supposed to be a team, and there's not supposed to be almost like what Finn Balor was saying with Judgment Day. Like there's not supposed to be a leader. Like we're supposed to be equal, and Kofi just kind of doing shit on his own. So I can see Kofi being like, "Oh yeah, R-Truth. Like you're black, we're black. Like we're old, you're old."
I honestly feel like they'll use R-Truth as just a distraction. Like they'll tell R-Truth to do something, and then they'll go completely against it. But in the end game, just play it out where they all win. Kind of like how they R-Truth or who was it? Whoever just came out the other night, whenever who was it? Not Xavier. What? Oh yeah, when New Day was fighting and R-Truth came out. Like like save these niggas, but then they let this nigga get beat up.
Well, Xavier Woods would do that. Kofi wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah,
But that might be that's kind of been what they've been doing with him. Like, oh, niggas come out and then they start getting jumped by whoever, and then Kofi's like, oh, let's go help him. Xavier Woods like, nah, I'm not doing that. And he's like, well, Kofi's like, well, he would help you. He's like, yeah, but I don't care about that at all. And then they kind of just like, that's kind of what they've been doing. Like him kind of just being more of an asshole and not just being like a happy-go-lucky guy. Because that's what the New Day is, just, the happy-go-lucky, non-threatening black guys.
It's a new day.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're just like the non-threatening black guys or whatever,
Yeah.
Xavier Woods is kind of getting over that because it's like, okay, well, people kind of see us as a joke. And, like, I'm trying to do something. I've never won a singles title. I've never done anything on my own. Everything I've done has been attached to the New Day. And then you and even Big E, who's not even here, that you was talking about Kofi Kingston, have won. Like, you know what it's like to be a singles champion, a world champion at that. And, like, I've never experienced that. So I feel like you low-key think you're better than me. Like, that's kind of where it was going whenever they had that segment with him and New Day and the LWO. Rey Mysterio was there. Rey Mysterio was there, and he's like, yeah, bro, why you think you're better than me? Because y'all, like, have been world champs or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, Xavier Woods hasn't been a world champion.
Big E needs to stop wrestling, or stop being in wrestling and just go be like the mayor of Detroit.
Midget wrestling is just not entertaining to me. I've never really found entertainment in, like, I don't know, midgets in general. It's just kind of like, I mean, maybe I did when I was like a kid. I was watching Jackass for like Wee Man and shit, but it's just not funny to me anymore. And I think that's like the only thing it's supposed to be is funny. It's just not like, I don't know. To me, it doesn't move me, honestly.
Yo,
it's just like, yeah, it's like comic relief.
He said that's racist.
Same thing with R-Truth. It's just comic relief. I don't want to go to, like, if I want to go to a comedy show, I'll just, like, go to a comedy show. I don't want to watch them, like,
it definitely didn't take
wrestle
when the midgets would wrestle, like, seriously. It's like you said, like when R-Truth comes out. But Camille asked a question. She said, well, how do you feel about Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin getting into politics? Even though Kane did it first, but
I don't know if she's talking about, like, running for office. I think she's talking about just doing political shit. I haven't seen any Stone Cold Steve Austin get into politics, but he's from Texas, so I mean, I'm not really surprised. Hulk Hogan is he's kind of a piece of shit just in general. So I kind of don't really care about anything he's doing. He's just like, he's one of the reasons why wrestling is what it is. Like, if you watch the McMahon documentary or just, know wrestling history, him and Vince McMahon basically are, like, the main reasons why wrestling, or at least the WWE, got as big as the WWE is. But he's a relic of the past. Nigga's like 70. Like, I don't really care too much about what he's doing. What I have seen, which is crazy, is that The Undertaker has a podcast, and he had Donald Trump on there. And now people are turning on The Undertaker. I'm like, what the hell?
That's crazy.
Like, The Undertaker's, like, been universally loved for 30 years. And just because he, like, sat down with Trump, people act like he's, like, the worst person in the world. And they're, like, trying to, like, rewrite history like he wasn't great at his job because now he associates with Trump. Which, if I'm not mistaken, The Undertaker's from Texas as well. So, I mean, it's just kind of expected. Like, I don't really care about what, if it's someone I'm a fan of for whatever their art is, whether it be wrestling, music, actually writing, painting, whatever. If I'm a fan of them for that, I can separate the art from the artist. I don't really give a fuck who The Undertaker is voting for. And I never wanted to know, and I never cared. And just because he's voting for Donald Trump, if I don't agree with Donald Trump, I'm not going to rewrite The Undertaker's career because he is with Donald Trump. Same thing with Stone Cold. Like I said, I haven't even seen anything political with Stone Cold, but I just assume he's a Trump supporter because he's from Texas. So he's an old white guy from Texas. That's, they're Trump supporters. That just kind of comes with the territory. But I never cared. I never wanted to know, and it doesn't really make a difference to me. Hulk Hogan, I'm just not really a fan of. So either way, regardless of like who he's voting for, he could be He could give, well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say he can give like $1 million to every black person in America, and it wouldn't sway me at all. But I'm black, and that would mean I would get $1 million. So yeah, that would be great. But yeah, I just don't really care about Hulk Hogan like at all, like his wrestling career or anything about his personal life or politics. The Undertaker and Stone Cold, they're still great, and I'm not gonna act like they're not great because they're voting for Trump. And like, yeah, I don't really care about other people's politics because I'm not really into politics like that. So, hey, if I fuck with someone for whatever reason, like it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, you voted for Obama, so I'm gonna be cool with you now. Like, so the reason, like, I'm not gonna fuck with someone because they have politics that I like. So I'm not gonna not like someone because they have they earn politics I don't like. That's not really a factor for me.
Views.
Yeah, it's not really like their politics aren't really a factor for me and how I feel about the person. So to answer your question, I don't truly care about what they're talking about politically. It is what it is. I understand people are going to be upset. I understand people are going to be in an uproar about it because it's like, it's a hot topic right now. Obviously, we have the election in well, I guess you can already start early voting in Texas. But election day is I think November 5th or whatever, and I don't know the exact date, but it's in 2 weeks.
What you talking about election? You did say you had an interesting story about trying to vote. What was that, today or yesterday?
That was Tuesday. But yeah,
before you get into the story, do you think that your story, before you get into it, do you think that was them trying to prevent people from voting? Or prevent or push you away from, oh, okay, this is my easy polling station.
No, I don't think it was anything like that. Basically, I went to the Betty Warmack Library. If you're in Grand Prairie, if you live in Grand Prairie, you've lived in Grand Prairie. I'm pretty sure you know where that is, right off of Barden and Robinson Road. The line was just long as hell. I mean, it was the first. I believe it was the first day of early voting. I could be mistaken on that. I don't keep track of that. That's a question for my dad. I was talking to my friend Jackie, and she said that she was going to go vote that day. I was already out, and I drove by, and I was like, okay, well, I might as well get this over with now. So I went to vote at the Betty Warmack Library. The line was long as hell. So I stood there for maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. Didn't seem like the line moved much at all. So I was like, yeah, there's a church around the corner, basically the church right next to Friendship Park, off of Carrier and Polo. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah. Anyways, so I was like, well, I'm probably gonna. I can try to go there to vote. I can try to go there to vote. If that line is long or if that line is taking too long, then I'll just come back either later today or I'll get this done another day. So I walked back. I walked out of the library. First, before I left the library, I walked all the way to where they were actually voting, just to make sure that that's actually what was happening, and I wasn't just in the line for some BS. That is what was happening. It was moving slow. I think mainly what it is that, like you said, you think it's intentional. I don't think it's intentional. I think most of the people that volunteer for helping with voting and shit like that are old as hell, and technology's kind of just moving too fast for them. And the way you vote, it's like you fill out the thing on a computer screen, and then it prints a ticket, and then you put that ticket into the machine or whatever. So there's a lot of old people there. They're operating technology, and I think they're just not that great at operating technology, because that's just old people aren't as adept at using technology as younger people are. So it's mostly older people that are doing it. So I think that's mainly the reason that it was taking so long, at least at that location. When I went to, went over there, looking at it, kind of looking at the process. Was like, yeah, it's taking too long. So I left, walked out, went to my car, and as I was walking up to my car, this lady pulled up next to me, and she rolled down her window. It's an older white lady, probably I don't know, late 50s, early 60s.
She's trying to get hit.
She was she was like, "Oh, what did you need to vote?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't actually get a chance to vote because the line was long. I didn't feel like standing here waiting. Didn't seem like it was moving. But I'm pretty sure, I'm almost certain, you only need your ID. So like a driver's license, passport. If you just have a state issued ID, I'm pretty sure that's all you need."
She assumed because you were black, you didn't have everything to vote. That's why you walked out of the line.
Sheesh. Anyways, so she was like, "Oh yeah." Oh, she's like, "Oh well." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go to this church that's around the corner to see if it's a shorter wait." And she was like, "Oh well, do you mind if I follow you?"
Like I said, she's trying to get hit.
So
like a bad car accident.
I feel like we ended racism because this old white lady followed a young black man to God knows where. I could have taken her. I could have taken her to a Diddy party. Obviously, if she'd have got
Trunk
there and
full of
saw that
baby
it
oil.
wasn't a place to vote, she could have made her decision. But she's old white. I'm young and black. They're always curious. So who knows where I could have taken her?
Man.
But she followed me, and we went to the church to vote. And it was a lot smoother process there. I think I was there for maybe 15 minutes. So yeah, I was there about the same amount of time that I was at the library, but I actually got to vote. So, but yeah, I basically ended racism.
Man.
So y'all are welcome.
All right, if I get pulled over by a racist police officer next week, I'm coming for you.
No, you just gotta tell him. You gotta tell him the story. He'll be inspired, and he'll stop being racist
What if he's black?
on the spot. It happens, man. A lot of. I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of the people are racist because they don't know any black people. But see, the thing is, honestly, it's they hate us because they ain't us. They want to be black. Like it's if we're being real, like you can see it. It doesn't. It's not even. I don't even think it's like a secret. Like everything they do, not everything they do, but everything we do is intriguing to them. They see it. They see the natural aura that black people have. They see the natural drip that black people have,
Drip?
and they wish that they wish that it was that easy for them. Like Beyonce said, "I woke up like this." Like there's, yeah. So there's maybe, I don't know. It's a small percentage of white women that are built like Beyonce. But there's a lot
And
of black
that percentage
women.
is growing.
There's a lot of black women built like Beyonce, and it's without trying. White women, if they want to look like that, for the most part, they have to get surgery, or they have to work incredibly hard, like going to the gym and working out, and they probably still. It's not gonna make their skin look as good as most black people's skin. It's just there's a lot they have to do. There's a lot that they have to do to be able to reach what black people have naturally, and they see it in athletics and they see it everywhere. Like there's any sport that a black man decides to do, or black people as a whole decide to do, they take it over. Who's the greatest golfer ever? Tiger Woods. Black. That's not our sport. But he is, you know what I'm saying? He's him. He's just one of the few that tried. And it's like, oh, wow, I'm just naturally good at this. Wow, it's crazy. But, it's mainly a white-dominated sport. But
Facts.
this one black man tried. I mean, I'm not saying he's the only black man to ever try. But, it didn't take long for black people to take it over whenever they started trying.
Facts.
There's black people in hockey as well. I don't watch enough hockey. I know there's probably some good black people that play hockey, but it's really just not our thing, at least in America, for sure. Baseball, Barry Bonds is the greatest ever. Like, it's as good of a season as...
They made a candy bar after Babe Ruth. He's the greatest.
I guess they did make a candy bar. But he was on... Babe Ruth was black, also, if you want to talk about it. But yeah. Barry Bonds... Okay, so Aaron Judge, right, had, an MVP season. He's probably going to win MVP or whatever. The season he had this year would be like Barry Bonds' 5th best season. So like he's him. They won't let him in the Hall of Fame because like they claim he was on steroids, but they have no proof of that. He never failed a drug test, and then even before they said he took steroids, he was still one of the best ever. If you take away all his home runs, hold on, I don't want to fuck up the stat. I'm gonna fuck it up anyway. But it's like if you take away like all his home runs, he still has like the best batting average ever. If you take you could take away a lot of stuff from Barry Bonds, and he'll still like stack up against the very best, if not being the best. Basketball, I mean, we don't have to talk about it. There's only whoever you select as your GOAT. It's usually LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe.
Brian?
Those are the guys that you're talking about. All black men. Like we don't have to football. We don't have to talk about it. Like probably the greatest single player. Like if you're just gonna go off of, not positional value, just like the greatest person we've ever seen touch a football field. It's a black man. You can take your pick. Deion Sanders.
You can take your pick.
Lawrence Taylor. What's the guy that won all the rings? Not Tom Brady, because obviously he's not black.
What about your boy Ricky?
Ricky Williams was average.
He just, I mean,
Ricky Williams was him in college. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's average. He was good. He was good. He was great. But his career didn't last very long, and he wasn't.
But also, his career was stunted due to the fact of their marijuana stipulations at the time.
Yeah, but I think that was after he talks about it. That was after. I think that was when he went to the Dolphins, but he was drafted by the Saints. I think he had a decent career over there, but he's really started getting going. He went to the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken.
I was about to say as soon as you brought that up.
But
majority of his career that we remember is at the Dolphins. Most people, I'm not gonna say everybody because I'm not a super sports.
The best. If you want to talk about stats wise, the best player in the NFL right now, stats wise, is Lamar Jackson. I mean, black man. The best current player in the NFL is another black man, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's inevitable. So it's something that obviously, if you're not black and you want to be in athletics, I feel like it's something you're just gonna feel some type of way about. But it's not just that. It's something you see in everyday life. Like there was always if you ever played sports in school, there's always a black guy better than you.
Facts.
If there's ever a girl you wanted, there was always a black guy who she wanted more than she wanted you.
Facts.
Like it's just in every. Their women want us and they want to be us. That's at the end of the day. I mean, I feel like anybody would feel some type of way. So like they have the power, so they use that power to try to make black people seem less than what they are, because that's like the only thing they can actually do. Like they can't boxing. I mean, when it comes to any fighting, any combat sports. We have Mike Tyson. We have Muhammad Ali. We have John Bones Jones. We have, he fell off, but we have Israel Adesanya.
Yo, what's up?
There's just really nothing, like in the grand scheme of life, that they can really do better than us, unfortunately. And I think that just feeds into. Racism.
I feel you.
It's hate, but it's not. It's envy. It's really envy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Loud enough, but... Oh.
That's hilarious.
That one's for Larry. I found it on YouTube. They literally just have the sound, so all we have to do is download it.
Yeah, is it actually playing? Is the sound itself actually playing through the screen?
Glaze have no boundaries.
Oh, shut
your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just
If it's not just playing out loud. Did you download it? I don't think it doesn't look like you downloaded it.
I was I was going to. I just never fully finished, doing it because I forget what it was.
Okay. I can figure it out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, yeah, so
Get this nigga Roger Mike and be like, so how's Sparking Zero? He's like, yo. He's like, all I do is play Tekken, so I don't know.
I mean, from what I've played, Sparking Zero is pretty good. It's basically what it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's. I haven't played it a lot because I don't have the game. But
Yeah, I refuse to low-key spend $60 on it.
I mean, that's just if you want a game, that's just the going rate for games. Unfortunately, that's why I haven't bought a game in a while. And also, since we're on the topic of gaming, I don't know if Champ is still in here. I just want him to know that he is part of the problem with gaming today, because I know he is somebody. I know he is somebody who buys DLC faithfully. He told me he spent like almost over like $500 in DLC for Xenoverse.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting.
And the fact that we used to be able to get a game back in the day, and you could just like unlock everyone that was taken from us. Now you just buy the game. So the game, probably when Xenoverse came out, games were probably still $50. So you do that, and then you buy the game 10 times over with DLC, and we're allowing them to do that. Unfortunately, I can't force people to not buy things. But I promise you, if nobody bought DLC, they wouldn't make DLC. Yeah. If you just don't buy the game at all, then obviously they're gonna be, oh shit, why are people not buying this game? Because I know I'm gonna have to buy this game 10 times to get the full game. They're selling you 20% of a game for $70.
You hear that, Roderick?
No. They're selling you 20% of a game for $70. Then you're going to have to spend another $500 to get an 85% game. Yeah. Because, well, I can't speak to Xenoverse for sure. I can speak to Madden, because that's a game I actually play, a game I actually have. For the past at least 10 years, they've sold you 50% of a game. But with Madden, you can't even buy a good gaming experience with Madden. It just doesn't exist. You have to spend all your money on Ultimate Team. You don't have to spend money, but if you want to be competitive, you have to spend all your money on Ultimate Team. But you're still not playing football. The gameplay never improves. They don't sell DLC to improve gameplay.
I will say
they just sell you DLC to get more and more shit. It's like it's pay to win. And it's pay to look good, which I don't even mind the pay to look good. Like I don't mind paying for skins and shit like that, because that's aesthetic. That's like, that's just something you want to do. But if you want to be competitive in Ultimate Team, you have to spend hundreds of dollars on packs. And that so with Xenoverse or Dragon Ball, any Dragon Ball game, right? It's gonna be okay. There's this pack. Here's PyCon. Here's Arale. Here's whoever you know what you're paying for. You know what you're paying for. With Madden Ultimate Team, you have to buy a pack and hope that you get somebody you want. You have to just hope that you get somebody you want. So you buy 100 packs and never get a nigga better than 85 overall. Why is it that when I start the game I have Deion Sanders on my team, but he's 67 overall? Why is there Deion Sanders was never that bad to where he's 67 overall? I have to spend $100 to possibly get Deion Sanders at 85 overall. Deion Sanders in his prime was a 99.
He started smacking the table.
Why the fuck am I paying all this money for the hope? It's the same thing with like Magic the Gathering, right? Like you can buy all these packs, you can buy all these boxes and shit, but there's no guarantee you're gonna get a certain card. There's no guarantee you're going to get anything of value. So you're just buying packs and hoping that you get something good. But what's worse with Madden is that all this bullshit is online. So if you just think about everything that goes into it, right? If you want to get a new Xbox, right? $600.
What's good, fam?
You want to buy the new Madden, $70. You have to have a controller, another $70. You want to actually play the game online. You have to get Wi-Fi, which I'm sure you already have Wi-Fi, but still, it's a part of the cost. Then I have to spend another $200 in packs to hope I get a good team. Or, I have played Ultimate Team like back in the day. I don't know if it's still the same. You have to grind for at least 300 hours for your team to be decent, for a 75 overall team. Or just get extremely lucky with packs. Because they do give you packs. You're like, oh yeah, pay play 100 games and you get a pack, but it's a standard pack. If you want anything good out of a standard pack, you probably have to open 300 of them. And then like, oh damn, I got a 80 overall Peyton Manning. Oh man,
I got an 80 overall Peyton Manning.
Now, whenever I throw passes, they actually go to where I want them to. That's cool, but it's like, it's bullshit. I shouldn't have to pay $700 on a game. I shouldn't have to pay. Yeah, I was adding it up, right? So say you spend another $200 in packs. You spent $600 on the console. That's $800. You pay $50 for Wi-Fi. That's $850. You buy the game. That's $70. That's $920. You spend another $70 on the controller. That's damn near $1,000.
And that's before the DLC.
To barely be competitive. That shit don't make no sense, church. And the thing is, you have to, because these niggas that you're playing with online, a lot of these niggas are streamers and they get paid for basically not for playing the game directly, but they're getting paid because they stream themselves playing the game. So you're making thousands of dollars a day. Bananas. So these niggas will spend $2,000 on packs and just sit there on stream opening packs for 5 hours. And so yeah, after they buy 1,000 packs, they have a good team now. They spent $700 to get a good team. And then now this nigga's team is 99 overall. I grinded. I played this game every single day, 10 hours a day for 6 months. And my team is 80 overall.
Tell Reddit to listen up. He's part of the problem.
And you just can't. I mean, you can only be so good at the game. If I throw a pass to a wide open nigga and my quarterback throws it inaccurately because he's 75 overall and his medium accuracy is 72 and he just literally can't make that throw, I'm cucked. And my nigga throws an interception. And oh damn, God forbid it's the 99 overall, 100 speed Deion Sanders. My fastest nigga on my team is LT, but he's fucking rookie LT or fucking TCU LT, and he's fucking 82 speed. It's the fastest nigga on my team. This nigga's a Hall of Famer. I'll never catch Deion Sanders. There's literally nothing I can do about that. Or you have fucking Luke Kuechly, 99 overall, and I'm using my 75 overall LT, and he literally gets touched and just fumbles the ball because your nigga's just better than mine. There's nothing I can do. I can't outrun this nigga because Luke Kuechly, 99 overall Luke Kuechly's 92 speed. He's faster than my running back. What can I do? I have to get the greatest blocking ever, but my linemen suck. Let alone Madden is so ass. It doesn't matter how good your linemen are. This shit is all predetermined. I got a 99 overall Randy Moss, nigga. I can throw the ball up, nigga. As soon as I throw the ball, I can see. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be 68 overall Eli Apple, who's known for getting burnt. And they show a picture of burnt toast and put that nigga Eli Apple's number on. Niggas know who it is. It's Eli Apple because that nigga be getting burnt. 68 overall with 99 Randy Moss, one of the greatest deep threats we've ever known. When I throw the ball, and animation begins. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what my nigga's attributes are. It doesn't matter what I do. The animation is already predetermined what's gonna happen. You can see the nigga's move. You can put the controller down. You might as well put it's already pre-decided. This nigga Eli Apple is going to do a 360 backflip and catch the ball. It doesn't even matter what I do. This shit is so ass. Madden is the worst game ever created. And the fact that it won't ever get better is because these niggas have an exclusive license to the NFL. You can make another football team. You can make another football game, but it won't be an NFL game. I can't have Patrick Mahomes. On another football game. It'll be fucking Patrick Mahomes. Like it's another nigga. And it's not even the same. It's not even the same attributes. And it's the fucking Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs. But it's not the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't be the Dallas Cowboys. You can't be the Los Angeles Chargers. You're gonna be the fucking Fort Worth Stars or the fucking Los Angeles Battery Packs. Like this shit is ass. And these games are still $40. It's still $40 for an off-brand game made by some indie company that's ass. I played these games. I played Maximum Football 2020 or some bullshit like that. Shit was ass. As trash as Madden is, it's still made by a $1 billion company. So if opposed to some indie company, it's still going to be a better game. Like gameplay may be better in certain ways, but the graphics aren't going to be as good. the players just aren't the players. It's not. You're not getting what you pay for. I want to play an NFL game because I like NFL games. I like the NFL. I watch the NFL. I want to feel like I'm. It's a simulation. I feel like I'm simulating NFL. I can't, and if I want to, I have to create a team. I basically have to create teams. I have to create the Chargers. I have to create the Rams. I have to do this for every fucking team and every fucking player. I don't have time to do that. I worked, not right now, but theoretically, I work 12 hours a day. I want to sit at home and play Madden and enjoy it and have a good time, and feel like I'm simulating what the NFL is doing, because that's what I watch on TV. That's what I've been watching my whole life. I want to simulate that, and I don't have the option. I don't have the option to do that because EA and the NFL. I don't know why the NFL has an exclusive license. The NFL makes more than enough money to not have to have a contract with EA to give them an exclusive license. EA needs that exclusive license so they continue to make subpar football games or subpar NFL games, and people are going to continually buy them over and over again. 2K is just as bad, but 2K doesn't even have an exclusive license. 2K just outperformed NBA Live, and so EA was like, well, we'll just cut our losses and not do this. We have our exclusive NFL license, so fuck making basketball games. So they stopped making basketball games, but they could if they wanted to. They just don't because they can't compete with 2K. Madden didn't try to compete. They was like, oh, we're just gonna cut out the competition completely. No one else can do this. We're the only ones that can do this. You're stuck with us, and you're stuck with an ass game. It's free after February. That's when I get Madden. In February, when it goes free, that's when I get the game. But until then, I'm just like, all right, well, if I wanna fucking get the updated roster, I have to go online and hope someone made a good updated roster. Not even that Madden makes good updated rosters, but still, the thing is it's continually being updated. So if a player starts performing better, then they'll at least boost their stats a little bit. And I know who the fuck this is. I don't have to go in there myself and do it, or just go and find some random nigga and hope he made a good roster. Because half the time it's not good rosters, and they're AI generated faces. Why the fuck does Patrick Mahomes look like Austin Eckler? That nigga's bald as fuck. Patrick Mahomes has a head full of hair. Like, it shit is just annoying as hell. And it's just been going on for 10 plus years now. 2K said, the license was about to expire. 2K said, alright, bet. We're going to start working on a simulation game. We're going to save y'all. And then they renewed the license. Now, bringing up 2K again, hold on. Back in 2004, ESPN NFL 2K5 is a better game than Madden 25. I guarantee it. I played Madden 25 maybe one time, and ESPN NFL 2K5 was already better. This game was made 20 years later. This game was on PS2. I could play Madden 25 on PlayStation 5, and it's worse than ESPN NFL 2K5. There was actually it was signed with ESPN. Obviously, it's in the title. It was signed with ESPN. There was a whole, whenever you challenged a play, there was a whole list of things you could challenge. Or Madden, you just challenged the play. You want to challenge the spot of the ball, or it was a fumble, right? You want to challenge the fumble, but they just like, oh nope, you want to challenge the spot of the ball. Nigga, what the fuck? Why can't I challenge the fumble? Why can't I choose what I want to challenge? I'm just gonna, whatever Madden wants me to challenge, that's what I'm gonna challenge. I challenge the spot of the ball. This nigga is still, I just fumbled. This nigga still has the ball. Oh, he's 1 yard back from where they said he was. But on a game made 20 years ago, there was a list, and you can pick all this other shit, and there were celebrities in the game. Not that I really care about that, but I got to play against Carmen Electra's team. Fucking Chris Berman was in the game. Fucking the niggas that were doing the ESPN Monday Night Football, they were in the game doing the shit. I had to listen to fucking Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Who the fuck are these niggas? These are just niggas that just get a check from Madden every year. And these niggas, it's just ass, bro. It doesn't make sense that a game 20 years ago is better than Madden now. And this is what we've been stuck with for. It's been 20 years since. Actually, I think 2K8 was the last one they made. But I don't even know. Yeah, they had like Dan Marino on it or some shit like that. But the thing is, it was just a lot better back then. And the gaming industry is cucked because they refuse to give us full games, and they're just going to continue charging us more. The next 5 years, 10 years maybe, I don't know. The game's going to be $100, and they're still not going to be complete games. The gaming industry has gotten lazy as fuck, and the fact that we keep buying these games over and over again because we're fucking addicted is only going to make it worse. GTA 6 better be fucking worth it, because I am going to buy a new Xbox for that game. I am going to buy the game. I don't know about DLC, man. It's just against my moral compass to buy DLC. And another thing that's worse than DLC. Stop pre-ordering games. What the fuck? Why are you giving these niggas money for something you don't have? And honestly, the fact that I didn't even get to the full point of the fact that all this shit is online. If I lose my connection, I can't play games that I fucking own. If I don't have my internet goes out, I can't play games that I fucking own. That shit is dumb as hell. If something happens to the internet, if the internet goes down, like, let's say that there's, obviously it's like fucking being over exaggerated, But if the power grid, if the fucking internet goes out in all the world, they take out all the Wi-Fi towers, whatever the fuck it is that provides internet. I just have electricity. I have an Xbox that I bought. I have 40 games that I bought. I can't fucking play those games. That shit is ass. So you spend all this money on something, and if you are just like, oh, I'm broke this month, I can't pay my Wi-Fi, you're absolutely fucked at all your games. Man. GameStop kind of hoard a lot with whoring people on trade-ins, but honestly, we need to bring back disc. You can buy an Xbox that doesn't even take discs, because they know that they got you by the balls, and you're gonna buy all this bullshit online. And if something were to happen, like it happens a lot, like not a lot, but there's random days you'll get on an Xbox Live, doesn't work. And it's just like, all right. And there was like a year that PlayStation Network was down. What the fuck? And all this shit is just all online. So I'm like, I guess I'm cucked. I guess I can't do anything with like this $500 I spent on the system, and another $500 I spent on all these games. I just can't fucking do anything about it. Like, this shit is so ass. This shit is so ass. It doesn't make any sense. And fucking WWE, right? That's another 2K game. This impossible. You cannot play an online game. I haven't played the new one, 2K24, but I've seen niggas talking on the internet. They say, yeah, don't even bother trying to play online. 2K23, I have it online. I'm playing the game for 5 minutes. Everybody's AI. Because everybody got booted. Everybody got booted. AI. I'm playing against AI. I'm playing against 6 other AI niggas. And everybody just got booted, and like I'm not even really playing the game anymore because I'm like, all right, well this is kind of dumb. I can just, if I want to play against AI, I can just fucking play regular. I don't have to get on the internet to do that. And supposedly it's the same thing on 2K24. Like, what are we doing? Like,
what are we doing?
I don't know if WWE has an exclusive license with 2K, but they don't try. They don't try. It's just a roster update, and you can download all these niggas online too, just like you can on every other fucking thing. Oh, and that, bro, this shit is so dumb.
Stop playing this
because
game.
on 2K, right? On 2K, right? On 2K, I can, if I'm drafting with me and all my niggas, or even just by myself, I can go in there, and I can, if they give me the 30th pick, I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I want the first pick. You can't do that on Madden. What? It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fantasy draft.
I knew where he was going.
Why can't I do what I want to do? Why can't I manipulate this game to where I want it to be? I can move my niggas from Los Angeles to Germany, right? But I can't decide when I make my pick. The trade logic is also absolutely fucked. If you get a quarterback, they'll trade almost anything for a quarterback. But you could trade a 99 edge rusher, and these niggas will offer you Samaje Perine. Like, this shit is so broken. And then 2K, there's a trade override. There's not a trade override. I have to go to the other team, make their 90, make fucking whoever I want on their team a fucking kicker or punter to be able to trade for them. I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to override it. This is fantasy. It's not real. It's not. I understand that I want a simulation NFL, but I want a simulation NFL when I want a simulation NFL. When I want to make it my own fantasy, I should be able to make it my own fantasy. There's no reason why I can't choose what my draft pick is. So if I do it right, if me and 3 of my niggas do it, like, oh yeah, we all want to get decent picks or whatever, and all 3 of us in the back half of the draft, we have to start over from the beginning. We have to make the league again. Choose our teams again. Create a coach if you want to create a coach. Whatever the hell you want to do. But you have to do this all over again to hope you get a good draft pick. But you may not get that good draft pick. It's something that you just may never. You can try it 30 times because it's random. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. It's just not a good game. None of these games are good. I don't know the last time I played like a a game that I like truthfully enjoyed is probably fucking golf. Honestly, fucking playing golf. I don't even know anything about golf, but I enjoyed playing the golf game because I guess it was something new, and I don't fully understand golf. So it's another EA game, so it's probably just as bad as fucking Madden. But I understand football more than I understand golf, so I understand what exactly is wrong with Madden, and I couldn't tell you exactly what's wrong with golf. And bro, UFC was so great. The UFC Undisputed, that shit was so great. UFC 2 was so great, nigga. These niggas ruined the game. These niggas made this shit so ass. UFC 3 is ass. UFC 4 is ass. I haven't played 5, but I'm pretty sure it's just as ass because it's an EA game and they didn't bother trying. Just like they don't bother trying with any of their sports games. This UFC 3 and UFC 4 were free. Were free on Game Pass. Very early in the game. But UFC 2 wasn't available. What type of shit is that? Why is UFC 2 not available? They know it's a better game. They know that they put out inferior product, and they don't care to do anything about it. They're just gonna like, oh, these niggas are gonna eat this game up. They're gonna eat it up. They're gonna play it, and they're gonna like it. And we do because it's the only choice we have, and we can't band together just like, all right, let's just not. If we found a way to cut Madden sales in half one year, the shit would change. These niggas told us on Twitter. It was a whole year on Twitter from the end of Madden 24, right, till before Madden 25 came out. This is a make or break year for us, guys. We heard you guys. We understand, guys. We know what the problem is, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make everything right. We're gonna make it all right. It's the same exact game. It's a reskin. That's all it is. It's a reskin. They changed the UI just slightly, and then so it's a roster. It's a roster update. That's all it is. It's a roster update. They changed the UI slightly so you can't just say, oh look, you can't just do a 1-to-1 comparison and be like, look, this is literally the exact same game with Christian McCaffrey on the 49ers, and it's just bad. They're not even talking about the Madden curse. This nigga just appeared out of nowhere. They're not even talking about the Madden curse also. These niggas are so bad, they curse people in real life. It doesn't make sense. Like, this nigga Christian McCaffrey has not played football this season. This nigga was on the cover of Madden, now he can't play football anymore. For some reason. This shit don't even make sense anymore. Like, I don't know how these niggas transcended the game and affect reality somehow. How can you affect reality but not make a good video game? It's really baffling. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense. Niggas are paying $70 for this game. Niggas gladly play $70 for this game, and they don't even care. They don't even care. It's mostly fucking. It's a lot of kids using their parents' credit cards to buy shit now, and it's really unfortunate. I wish you could. Maybe if there was a DLC for better gameplay, I could get jiggy with that, but I can't get jiggy with playing a fucking Madden Ultimate Team. So yeah, so if me and my friends want to play each other in Ultimate Team, like between us, we had to spend $1,000 to have competitive teams. Like, that's ridiculous. It should. These niggas sell 10 million copies every year, and they make billions of dollars every single year because people just can't help themselves. And I get it. I want to play Madden too, but I wait for it to be free. These other niggas are feeding EA. Their CEO is probably makes millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of $1,000,000 every single year to put out a subpar product. He doesn't have to try. I don't know. I can't tell you how much money they spend on the game, but it can't be a lot. It can't be, because it's just a reskin.
It's funny because this is all stem from fucking DLC content, and you're just like, I can't do it.
We're getting because it doesn't even matter how good the game is anymore. You're not gonna get the full game.
He spent $500 in DLC. I forget. I don't know. Well, no, in Xenoverse.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't make sense. Like, it really started, yeah, because as good as the game is, it's not a complete game. So as much fun as I had playing the game when I played the game, I still in the back of my mind knew that this wasn't the full game. Why is King Vegeta not on here? He's like he's literally like the reason why. I guess Frieza's really the reason why like Dragon Ball Z was really a thing because he's the one that made the Brother Saiyans there, blah blah blah. But Vegeta
stems from King Vegeta, but
yeah, it stems from him. But also, yeah, like it's really Frieza because Frieza is. I'm pretty sure Frieza was why they sent Goku away to Earth and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
because
he was the one destroying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to break it down to to the mind to the most details, because King Vegeta's a bitch and couldn't beat bitch ass Frieza. If he could challenge Frieza, these niggas wouldn't. The Saiyans were oppressed. They were like the strongest race ever, and they were oppressed because their king was a bitch. But anyways,
well, I just wanted to get this one little tidbit out. I will commend Super Smash Bros. On their DLC. They might make you buy the game twice, but you buy the game twice, that's it. It's not like they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna drop more DLC for you. Like, here, we drop enough DLC for you to buy the game twice. You couldn't spend.
yeah, this nigga King Vegeta was scared of Frieza.
Back to King Vegeta though.
Just like Vegeta. So it's crazy how this nigga Vegeta had so much pride, but this nigga Frieza's like 3 foot tall. This nigga would cower in fear when he saw this nigga.
He's a good 4 foot, right?
In his first form. Yeah, because these niggas they only had seen his first form, and they were fucking terrified of this nigga. This nigga King Vegeta's probably 7 feet tall. You're a bitch.
We're gonna look it up. We got.
Nigga, die for your people, bitch ass nigga. Niggas just have natural Saiyan pride, but they're just like bitches. Isn't? I mean, I guess he was sent from another planet, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's pretty gay. I mean, honestly. I mean, but art always imitates art, so I'll give them a pass for that.
Alright, just for conversation's sake, though, it does say Frieza's first form is 4'11", or 4'9".
Cap.
You said on Fortnite?
No, just his first form. It says 4'9" for his first form, and then his second form is 6'10", which is crazy. But I think that's because his head, and then his third form is 6'7", and then his final form would be 5'2", which is crazy because I would. No, actually, it's not that.
So you said this nigga was 4'9" in his first form?
Yeah. Right.
What's his 5'2"?
Where did it say? It says.
Either way,
Right here.
King Vegeta is 6'4". You're a bitch.
Yeah, right here. It says he's 4'9". This part right here.
This nigga was cowering fear to a child. Man.
He was cowering fear to a child.
At least this nigga Bardock stood up to this nigga. Nigga Bardock tried to fight. Nigga, this nigga King Vegeta just like, okay, yeah, whatever. He's basically like Broly's dad in the fucking Super movie. Niggas are alright. I was about to say the F slur. I was about to say the F slur, but let me chill. We're on Facebook. Let me not do that on Mark Zuckerberg's internet.
He's really 4'7". 4'9" means 4'7".
Yeah, that shit is nuts, bro. It don't make no fucking sense, bro. That this nigga King Vegeta was that big of a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, fucking Michelle look kind of creepy.
Which one? This Michelle or this Michelle? It's gonna be late, but
Yeah,
that Michelle.
that one, the one on the bottom for sure.
Oh, the one on the bottom.
But yeah, bro, we're not gonna get good games until we stop buying games, unfortunately. So I know y'all have enough games currently on y'all's console. Let's just hold out till GTA 6.
The only way to defeat that, truthfully, is to defeat the toxic baby mama. And honestly, all these toxic baby mamas who be like, "Oh, I'm gonna say sorry to my baby daddy and buy him a PlayStation 5 and a new 2K."
Yeah, that's a part of it too. But damn, no, something I was gonna say that I completely spaced on.
Well,
Oh yeah,
segue, but you know.
yeah. Shout out to Xbox and Microsoft for having Game Pass at least, because you can play a lot of these games for free. Niggas be on PlayStation and be like, oh man, I can't play that game. Like, man, this whole is free as hell on Xbox.
Shouts out to Xbox for creating a quality console that doesn't heat up the room with 40 degrees.
We didn't have a baseball game. We didn't have a good baseball game on Xbox for years, and PlayStation turned up, right? Because PlayStation had MLB The Show, and they decided to make it. They decided to put it on Xbox. So it's been on Xbox now for like 3 years. Whenever the game comes out, it's immediately available on Game Pass that same day. You can play the game immediately, and you have. They do have some shit. They do have older shit on there or whatever. Every time I turn on my PlayStation, I go and look at it, and it's like
mid-tier game.
Fucking Crash Bandicoot like 7 times, and I'm just like, all right. I mean, I guess, but like, there's no. You'll never get. See, if they was real, which they'll never do. If they was real, GTA 6 should be free when it comes out. Just for the wait. But
that's a money loss.
That game's gonna. It's not gonna happen because they're gonna make $1 billion on day one.
They're still making.
Yeah, we did buy GTA 3 times.
$20 for GTA 5 online right now.
Yeah, why is GTA Online a separate thing?
Well, if you buy the game, then you get GTA Online. But
yeah, but like, why can you buy it separately? Like, why just give me the game? And why is it $20? Nigga, this game came out 10 years ago.
Plus.
That shit is nuts, nigga. It was on 360, Xbox One, and Series X. These are all 3 different games. So if I buy a new console, I should be able to just if I buy Xbox 360, I have it on 360, which I guess on when 360 was like really banging. Digital games weren't as big as they were, so you probably had a disc. But I should be able to put that disc into my Series X, and it should update, and I should be able to play GTA just like I'm playing it on Series X.
No.
There's no reason not to, other than greed.
Pay for it.
These niggas make billions of dollars every single year, and they're somehow still greedy.
Pay for it.
Eat the rich.
You ready for Vegas?
I mean, I'm always ready for Vegas. I'm always ready to take their money, but they're most likely just going to take mine, unfortunately.
We got to have a mindset be like, we about to take their money.
These chips are dirty as hell.
You know what's crazy? I know we got like at least $4 more in gold nugget chips somewhere.
Yeah, I have like $10 in Windstar chips just floating around.
I know you got some in your car for sure.
But yeah, huh?
No, I was just gonna say I was low key trying to get in touch with Vernon and send him them golden nugget chips a long ass time ago, but he act like he don't know his cousins. But it's cool.
Speaking of that, nigga, I need my hat, church.
Hey, yo.
I spent like $50 damn near on a powder blue Chargers hat. Probably the best hat in my inventory. Let this nigga wear the hat. I didn't even let him wear it. He just like niggas was sleeping. Nigga just put that hoe on and then nigga disappeared. Never saw him again.
Yeah, no, nigga just walked around with it on and then the night ended and niggas just didn't get the hoe back. Look, niggas about to spend bread. I guess I'm not about to cap.
This nigga Jordan spends all his bread at Trapplebee's.
That's crazy because you know how much
and
money
no
I've
frills and
saved.
Valentinos.
I haven't been. You went to Tino's today. What do you mean?
Never been to Tino's.
Oh, you're the one who showed me Tino's.
I'm pretty sure Larry showed you Tino's, but still.
All right.
But anyways,
Oh yeah, he did want to go for Sharkeisha.
man, nigga doesn't love Sharkeisha.
He hates Sharkeisha now.
This nigga.
No.
Sharkeisha, no. Nigga Jordan tried to segue into it earlier. I didn't allow it, but if you really want to, church, we can get into these bitches.
Why not?
Why not?
Man. Oh, church.
So I was told today that it's feminine. I wasn't told, but I saw on Facebook, right? The worst place in the world. Mark Zuckerberg's internet.
I thought it was Beyonce's internet.
Nah, not on Facebook. Beyonce's internet is everywhere else. But on Meta.
Just Meta and Twitter.
Damn. Meta is Mark Zuckerberg's internet. The Twitter is for the people. I can give Elon Musk that. It's for the people, mostly right wing people, but it's still for the people at the end of the day. But yeah, so supposedly niggas can't go to brunch anymore. So basically the post was something about let's normalize. Also, let's normalize stopping saying let's normalize, because that's just dumb as hell, nigga.
Yeah.
Live your life, nigga. Don't give a fuck what all these other people talking about. The internet is not real. Everything you see on the internet, most of the shit you see on the internet outside of Facebook is like IG, Snapchat, like the ones that are just like pictures or videos and shit like that. People are trying to show you the best side of themselves. That's not really their everyday life.
Shouts out Jordan in real life.
These niggas, mainly women, right? These bitches, right? What they do is they go on one vacation a year, and then they take a bunch of pictures all over the city that they're in, and then they post those pictures periodically throughout the year in different outfits in different spots in one location. They never show you the nigga though, but they're getting flown out and fucked, but they're leaving that part out. But they're only going on the one if they're going on their own, they're only going on the one vacation, and they're making it seem like it's 5 different vacations. They are out there going to Dubai and getting penetrated by camels and doing scat shit and doing all types of other shit. You always see you see a picture on what is it, the Burj Khalifa, whatever, like the tallest building in Dubai or whatever, or any skyscraper picture from Dubai from all the way up there. There's never a nigga there somehow magically, but this bitch works at Arby's. Like, it's just the math ain't mathing. It takes look up what it takes to go to Dubai. I promise you, Arby's salary is not paying for that. It'll never pay for that. And women don't know how to save money, so they're getting flown out and they're not showing you the nigga they're with, or they're going on one vacation and they're making it look like it's 5 different locations. So the internet is not real. It's all fake. It's all a facade. They don't tell you that they're on their 3rd baby daddy and they can't afford wipes and they can't afford diapers and they're begging for shit. Their cash apps in their bio. They're begging for shit. They tried to sell ass. It didn't work. They tried to sell their OnlyFans. It didn't work. Some simp ass nigga is going to show up at some point and try to save them. Don't be that guy. So the internet's not real. So everything you see on there, if you see someone having a good time on the internet, they hate their life and they want to kill themselves. I don't know if I can say it on Mark Zuckerberg's internet, but it's already been said. Right? Okay.
I mean, let it be known that the hourly wage at Arby's is $15 an hour. and bare minimum, it costs $1,500 to go to Dubai.
Yeah. So it's going to take them 1,000 hours. Women do not work that much. It's going to take them 1,000 hours, not including everything else that you need to live your normal life, to go to Dubai. But that's besides the point. My main point is that this internet shit, go to X, you'll see everything on X. Mark Zuckerberg's internet, you're not going to see everything on Mark Zuckerberg's internet. Because he's left-leaning, he's liberal, you'll get canceled. I don't know how many times I've been banned on Facebook for saying, I'll see a post, I'll share that post. I get banned for sharing that post, but the post is up. It doesn't show. It just tells me, yeah, this didn't get posted and you're banned. How the fuck it was already on here.
I'll share a post.
It was already on here. I didn't make this post. It was already on your internet, Mark. And now all of a sudden, when I share, now it's bad. It's because I'm black. But anyways,
online.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. It don't even make sense. Like, so when you see this bullshit on the internet, right? Okay, so I don't want to say it's a psyop, but it almost seems like it's a psyop, right? So black people on the internet, or at least on Twitter, right? Black people on Twitter hate each other for absolutely no reason, right? Black women absolutely hate black men. And they try to convince you that black men hate black women. But that's not the case. Most black men have a black mom, right? And usually that same love, not the same love they have for their mom, but the fact they have a black mom is going to make them more likely to love a black woman because their mom is a black woman. So, but the thing is, they do it to themselves. They're like, oh, fuck these niggas. I don't like these niggas. These niggas ain't shit. These niggas ain't that. And niggas ain't trying to hear that shit. So, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck the white girl. Or I'm gonna go fuck the Hispanic girl. I'm gonna go fuck the Asian girl or whatever. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they tell you that black men ain't shit. So black men aren't shit to them. Because I don't want to have to deal with this. I don't want to have to argue and fight every single day. You know, in a perfect world, a man goes to work, he comes home to a happy family. But you want to argue about how much time he's spending at work. Well, we live in this house, or we have this car, or we have all these nice things, or I take you out, I do that and all that. I have to work for all that, but me working too much is a problem. Or they sit home and watch reality TV all day, or sit there and watch Dr. Phil all day, or watch these dumbass talk shows all day, The View, whatever, The View, the Landscape, the whatever the fuck they called, all these random ass shows that are nothing but, they watch Wendy Williams. These are nothing but drama. It's nothing but drama. So they feel like they're not fulfilled if they don't have drama in their life. They see fucking New York on TV yelling and screaming at bitches, so they want to yell and scream at bitches. Man. So now we're going out trying to have a good time, maybe have a couple drinks, and you know, maybe someone accidentally bumps you or whatever, and you know, it's an accident. You know, things happen, especially if you're in a crowded area, you're in a club, a bar, things happen. Boom, you get bumped into a little bit. Now it's a big issue. Now it's a major problem, and now we have to make it everybody's problem. And as your man, right? If this bitch has a man, right, and he confronts you, now I have to confront this nigga. And a lot of these niggas out here are pussy, and they don't want to fight. Scripted, and you think this is real life. And so now you and I act a fool when we're out in public, and now we're dead. It just doesn't make any sense. And so and then so a nigga, right? And then a nigga, because niggas talk, right? So if a nigga goes and dates a girl or whatever, blah blah blah, and they like, you know, they talk to her, they go on a date, and like, yeah, this bitch kind of ratchet, I only fuck with her, blah blah blah, but she let me hit, right? So they gonna tell the homie like, hey, you know, she got good box, but bitch is annoying, but you know, do your due diligence, do what you got to do. And you can hit, you know what I'm saying? So
he said, "Do your due diligence."
By being disagreeable, they get put into a box, right? They get put into a box because niggas gonna let them know, like, hey, even if it's men are so have a natural camaraderie. If you see a nigga with a girl, right? And if you know what I'm saying, you know, some niggas do that simp shit, and they like, oh man, that was my girl, blah blah blah. They like, oh, you know, they be on that jealous shit. You know what I'm saying? When they lose the girl and they see her with another nigga. But a real nigga is going to tell him, hey, big dog, I'm not trying to step on your toes or nothing. I've been there, done that. I'm just letting you know.
She a treesh.
Either she's a treesh or she just ain't shit. And then, so, niggas act accordingly. They move accordingly. Like, all right, we'll bet. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, set this bitch to the side. I'm gonna make it do what it do. Whatever. And I understand you shouldn't just go off based off someone else's word. You should basically go off your own experience. But the thing is, when niggas love somebody, or niggas really love somebody, they look past all the bullshit. They can see past all the bullshit. So someone having an outside perspective can be really useful to let you know, like, hey, you shouldn't be going through this. You shouldn't be dealing with that. Like, this is not okay, because in your mind we can work through this, or in your mind it's not that bad. We're this is just a phase or whatever. It's not a phase, big dog. I hate to be the one to tell you, but she's not gonna change. It's been 10 years. She ain't changed. It ain't happening.
It never gonna change.
And a lot of times they will. So a lot of times what you'll see is, when you have a relationship, when you have a relationship with someone, and the relationship goes sour, they'll just be blaming the other party. They'll blame the other party, but they'll never. Somehow they never did anything wrong. somehow, some way. A nigga will be like, oh yeah, I fucked up here, I fucked up there, blah blah blah, but they'll never get to the point where they did something wrong. So you don't think women from another race do the same thing because other women would sit there and watch Hallmark and watch. I'm not excluding other women. I'm just talking about black women right now, but I'm not saying women from other races don't do that. I'm mainly talking about the black on black crime that goes on Twitter. When black women basically convince themselves that black men have internalized hatred for themselves, and that externalizes itself with their hate of black women.
What we also have to understand is that systematically, like, the black woman has been made to hate, like, the black man. So, in general, like, there's things put into place in government systems and stuff like that to, you know, give, like, well, in general, just give women the ability to sustain life without a man and, you know, do all this stuff without a man. So, I mean, and the black woman is definitely somebody who is, I guess you can say, in a sense, been forced to utilize those things and take on that full-on ideology that, you know, they don't need a man and they can do it all by themselves and being independent. And that's why we get this mindset of women who are so caught up on, oh, well, I'm independent, I can do this by myself. It's not that you need to do it by yourself or that you can do it by yourself. It's that you shouldn't want to.
Also, not to get political, but I don't know if it was the 60s or the 70s or whatever. Basically, that they were told that you can get extra benefits if you don't have the father in the household. So, a lot of them would go out of their way to... A lot of them will go out of their way to make sure there's not a father in the household so they can receive these benefits on top of getting child support, right? So they basically try to destroy the nuclear family by giving out incentives and just giving out government incentives for single mothers. So they were like, oh, well, shit, you know what I'm saying? I need him now because he's providing me financials. But if I can find a way to do it without him, which is government assistance, they would do that. So they, you know, if the man is not in the house, then they can get government assistance and also get child support from him. So now, not only do they not have a man, now they're a single mother, which, you know, is red pill, as you want to call it. Single mothers are not desirable. I hate to break it to you, but you're just lower on the totem pole. As a single man, I'm not. Single mothers aren't really on my radar. You might be able to catch me slipping if I really rock with you, but for the most part, it's just not. It's just a no-go. I don't have a child, and I.
He said you might be able to.
I would like, right? Because obviously, you know, you want to fall in love, right? So, but most likely, at my age, I'm not. If I find a girl, I'm not gonna be her first love, right? And I'm not gonna take her virginity, right? I mean, I'm not a virgin either, but whatever. I'm not gonna be able to take her virginity, right? I would, even nowadays, these bitches be divorced. So I would like to be your first husband if possible. But if I can't have any of that, I would like for my first child to be your first child. I don't want to take care of some other nigga's kid. That makes me a cuck.
Man, unfortunately.
That makes me a cuck. Sad. Because I'm just sitting here. Because in the animal kingdom, right? Lions, right? If they find a lioness that they want, and that lioness has pups, they just kill them niggas.
Yeah.
They just kill them niggas straight out. So, anyway, yeah, bitch, I'm not taking care of this nigga's kids. He left, you know what I'm saying? He died, whatever, nigga was weak, whatever the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? And I do understand there are people who don't give a fuck about bitches having, you know, whatever, this, that, and the third. But just in general, a single mother is less desirable. So if I see, you know what I'm saying, a bitch with a fat ass, right, and you know, she got slim waist, whatever, you know what I'm saying, build your perfect 7 out of 10. Build your perfect 8 out of 10. Build your perfect 8.5 out of 10, right? I'm not. If she has a kid, right, I'd probably take the 7 who doesn't have kids over the 8.5. Or if I see the 8.5, right? I see her. Oh, she got a fat ass. Hit. But I'm not building a life with you and little Jatavion. Like, I'm sorry. This nigga's bad as hell. This nigga's dad is a fucking felon, right? This nigga got a bad temper, right? So if I take his kid to the park, I don't want him pulling up with Fulio with Glock 19s and all types of switches and AR-15s or whatever the fuck these niggas got nowadays. I'm not dealing with that, bro, because this nigga got a bad temper. That's why you left this nigga. You left this nigga because he had a bad temper. Now you want me to be a father to his son and think he's not going to feel some type of way about it? They're going to feel some type of way about it. And now it's my issue. I don't want to have to deal with that.
I don't have to deal with whenever you buy
what's the
son something that me and his mom don't agree with.
What the Big Sean line, that shit always resonated with me, even though I've never even been in the situation, but it just hit whenever he said it. You got baby mama drama. You even got baby. You fugazi. What the bro? That's insane, nigga. How do you have baby mama drama? You don't have a kid. That shit don't make sense, nigga. I'm not dealing with it. I refuse. That's some other nigga's problem. I didn't create your kid, nigga. You're a bad dad. Either you're a bad dad or she just ain't shit. One of the two. I don't want to deal with either one of y'all. I don't have to deal with that because
that's like she ain't shit, but yeah.
Because it takes two to tango. And I'm not even a part of that equation.
It's funny.
So why would I? That doesn't even make sense, right? 1 + 1 = 2 + 1. I don't even. Where does even the logic doesn't work? It doesn't work for me, nigga. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like I said, there could be one that catches me slipping. If I really vibe with her and I really fuck with her kid and she looks really good, but she's gonna have to check every other box. She's gonna have to check every single other box. Because there's compromises. You can always compromise a relationship. You always want to compromise. Nobody's perfect. You can't expect people to be perfect. So, but the thing is, like that's a big ass box that needs to not be that needs to be checked off. Is that you having someone else's kid? And I understand, like what some people. Oh, what if the nigga died? That's even worse. That's way too much trauma for me to handle. Yo, I'm sorry, I can't. You come with way too much baggage, mamas. You're gonna go to this nigga's graveside every year. You're gonna be breaking down randomly. I'm not gonna know what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
you're gonna be depressed.
She's so attached to that nigga.
I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. It's not my job to help you get over the last nigga. I'm sorry.
It's not
my problem. It's just not my problem. Like I understand, somebody will do it. Like Champ said, somebody will do it. But I'm not going to do it.
It's sad and it sucks to have to have this like mentality or whatever because women have gone and exhausted a man of his patience. I'm gonna use it say it like that. But yeah, exhausted a man of his patience to say it like because it's not to say these kids don't need a father. Granted.
Boy, they need a dad bad.
Man, they need a dad bad. But yeah, not to say that these kids don't need a father and that I wouldn't want to be that father for them, but at the same time, it's just the amount of trauma and the amount things that come with that. It's crazy that you would have to put a man or even somebody who is willing to, go to those lengths to do that for you. And then just the trauma that comes along with that. There's a lot. Of course, me. I can speak on that for days and days and days. And it's funny because if you go and check my Instagram story right now, I literally posted something that's funny because it says, yeah, it sucks that, you went through the trauma that you went through. And it's sad that that your mom raised you that way. And I was just like, damn, this hits a little hard. But, it's the reality. It's like you don't realize how much inherited trauma that as black people we have, and then with going through things that people have gone through in past times, like you were just speaking on with the 60s and all that other stuff, and women being told that they can do it without a man and so on and so forth. Like there's a lot of built-up trauma behind that. And even if your dad was there, and then all of a sudden he just wasn't there because your mom felt like she could do it without him. They just like that's other built up trauma as well. And not to just keep going in the trauma circle, but it's a vicious circle. Yeah, they need dads. That's the point. That's the point. Is they need dads. But
How does a woman who didn't have a father grow up to tell men how they should be?
man,
That shit is baffling. They like a real man wouldn't do this. A real man wouldn't do that. You've never known a real man in your life.
Facts.
You let random niggas hit.
This nigga Jared, what's that one big nigga who be on fucking? I see him on Facebook all the time. He be whenever he goes on a rant, he like, beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. That's the nigga Jared needs the buttons.
So you are
It
going.
says, so you are going not to be with her because she decided to have a kid and the child's father is gone.
Like I said, she would have to catch. She would have to catch me slipping, but I'm not going to. I'm not. If I see a woman in the street with her kid, right? Most like I'm going to assume that that kid's dad is around. And then if it's not, so I'm just never approaching her in general. I'm not approaching her if she's with her kid because either dad's around or you're a single mom, right? But if I, approach a girl on the street and we vibe or whatever, and she pulls a Drake and hides her kid from me or whatever, and I just really fuck with her, and then because they don't be moms, right? So it'd be like 6 months later I find out she has a kid, but I already fuck with you heavy. You may be able to catch me slipping. You may be able to. But if I find out you have a kid within that first week, I'm not going to pursue a relationship with you because I would rather not be in a relationship with someone who has a kid. So again, it's not like a hard no, but it's I'm not going to even try with you if you have a kid. But if we just, naturally, we can be friends. You know what I'm saying? We can naturally become cool. You let me hit every now and again, and I just really fuck with you. And Lil Zay is cool. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can grow into something more. But I'm not seeking a relationship with someone who already has a child because, again, I want to be something. I want to be your first something, right? And also too, if you believe in soul ties, right? She will forever be tied to her baby daddy.
Facts.
It doesn't matter how good John's relationship is. It doesn't matter how much you provide for her. It doesn't matter what you do for her. The right day, the right time, she's going to let that nigga hit.
Or not even
because
that.
she cultivated this nigga's seed inside of her.
Don't even
for 9 months. She'll never be separated from him spiritually.
In the hypothetical sense of, say he dies or something happens to him, she's going to feel some sort of compassion towards this man. And I want to, before Jared continues on and goes on with his points and stuff about this, Camille, I want to say I appreciate your questions because you're furthering the conversation even more and giving a woman's perspective.
Alpha widow vagina is crazy.
But I will say, it's not that we won't. Granted, this is a room full of men who don't have, kids or anything like that.
Except for Roderick.
Roderick has his woman here, so that's a whole.
Well, you just said don't have kids, so.
I would say people in relationships that don't have kids, or people who have made those decisions to not have kids or anything like that, and so on and so forth. We're not going to get into that too far. But anyway, because I wanted to get to my point. My point is that it's not that we wouldn't talk to a woman with children, or we would totally push her off to the side and say that, oh, you're not eligible or not of high enough value for me. Granted, if I were to come across a woman, and like my brother said, we were vibing and so on and so forth, like I said, I'm not going to let that one added factor of her having a child completely factor her out of being a possible, somebody that I can relate with and so on and so forth. So it's not that we're counting them out, but it needs to be known or needs to be stated that when you make those decisions, and it goes both ways even for a man, but it might not hold the same kind of merit as far as because somebody who might be a single father is looked at more positively than a single mother would be looked at. But in that same instance, a man who is a deadbeat father is not looked at the same way as a deadbeat mother be looked at. Like a man who is wholeheartedly taking care of his kids and being a single father would probably be more highlighted than a single mother would be, or in that instance, because it there's a lot to that, and I'm not going to get too far into that because I feel like where we were going is a totally different direction. But to make it clear, Camille, no, we wouldn't be totally against single mothers, but to the point, have to understand your value at that point in the life decisions that you have made. If you have made the decision to lay with a man and have a child, and now you are no longer with that man and y'all decided to go your separate ways, that is not on me to actively make decisions for you and your life and your seed and so on and so forth, because the life that we built together should be the life that we built together, not the life that you started with somebody else.
Failed to complete.
Yeah, failed to complete, and now you want me to pick up the pieces. And that's not fair to somebody who has tried to make those, proper decisions is not the wording that I want to use, but has made the cognitive decisions to not, jeopardize my life going forward or cause myself any more trauma that, because we all have our own trauma, but I've chosen to not, add trauma to the things that I experience in life and stuff. Yeah.
And as a man, naturally you have a lot of responsibilities. So why would I add to that responsibilities with someone else's mistake? Not saying that the kid is a mistake, which a lot of times they are. A lot of times they are, but the mistake is within there was a mistake made somewhere, right? I mean, obviously, sometimes it could be two good people who have a misunderstanding and their relationship doesn't work out. There are those cases.
Let's just say,
but I would say more often than not,
you've made a mistake. Yes.
More often than not, so there's so many decisions, right, that have to be made, right, for a child to be born. I don't believe in abortion, whatever, do what you got to do, but that is an option. Plan B is an option. Contraception is an option. Wearing a condom. The pull-out method is an option. What Champ said, how the fuck a kid a mistake with 100 ways to not have a baby? Yeah, exactly. Pulling out is an option. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that go into having a baby, and a lot of times what it starts with is selecting the person to conceive with. And because I'm not gonna excuse all men and say there's some niggas that just ain't shit. But you fucked that nigga. You still let that nigga nut inside of you. You still let it get to the point where you're having a child with someone who is a scumbag. Obviously, people can change. You can be an ain't shit nigga and have a kid and it can change your whole life and you could become a good nigga. But more often than not, an ain't shit nigga is gonna be an ain't shit nigga. So if you were attracted to it, because these bitches like felons and shit for some reason. Man. So yeah, if a nigga come out of prison and you immediately let this nigga get you pregnant, that's on you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, it may be one thing. Yeah, that nigga this nigga got out of prison, right? So he been fiending for some coochie. You know what I'm saying? They could have been in there getting bussy and he was tired of that or whatever the case is, right? Either way, he wasn't getting, unless it was just some female whatever guard in there that, he could have sex with. More likely not, he could have sex with a woman. So the first woman he could find, he had sex with her, got her pregnant. But this bitch still, she still went along with it, knowing, and then she, she let the nigga nut inside her, knowing that this can cause a baby. So now you're pregnant and this nigga's long gone. So this nigga doesn't even, this nigga doesn't even ever know his dad, because by the time the nigga is born, his dad is gone. So that nigga ain't shit, but you still have to make the decision to have unprotected sex with that man in order for you to be able to get pregnant by him. So yeah, like Champ said, there's so many things that lead up to having a child that it can be prevented from having a child with someone that you don't think is fit to be a father. But that's not something that ever crosses their mind. they're, I mean, obviously, in most cases, they're just like, oh, well, I'm having a good time. He has a nice smile. He's making me laugh. I'm going to take my clothes off. And then
That's horrible.
everything else goes out the window. In that moment, everything else goes out the window. Now, again, as a man, you should, if you do that, you should know that you can get her pregnant, and you should take that responsibility of being a father at that point. But if a nigga is not the type of nigga that if you know this nigga's not the type of nigga, you may not know it, but you can. There's signs. There's always signs, and most niggas ain't gonna be the perfect nigga. You know what I'm saying? Go to work. You know what I'm saying? Go to 9 to 5. Do what he has to do. Handles all his business, and then when it comes to having a child, he's just gonna dip. More often than not, it doesn't happen that way. It's most likely a nigga, you can read it. You can see it in a nigga when he doesn't want to be a father. He doesn't know his father. His father didn't know his father before him. These niggas ain't shit. These niggas, you know what I'm saying? You can see it on a nigga. You can smell it on a nigga. If a nigga's just a piece of shit, if you conceive with that nigga, then whatever happens after that is on you as well. It may be on him for being a piece of shit, but it's on you as well for being willing to conceive with somebody who ain't shit.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna just read some of these comments for context, just for string context. But yeah, the original thing that stemmed this whole thing, Camille said was, so you're not going to be with her because she decided to have a kid and the child's father is gone. And OTS comes in and says, yep, because I ain't dealing with none of that shit, as we've said. Can you grab that for me? And then John comes in and says, fact, goddamn, Jerry hit that hoe about fatherless women trying to tell men how to be men. Sheesh. Camille, OTS, champ, comes back and says, Camille, on God, she can keep the alpha widow vagina on mamas. John comes back in and says, if she has kids, she's automatically lower on the food chain. Fucked up as that sounds, but it don't always have to be a deal breaker. You can always make exceptions, but in general, ain't nobody just seeking single women with kids. OTS comes back in. He says, "How the fuck a kid a mistake with 100 ways to not have a baby?" As Jared was getting into, he was literally just saying how, you can have the pull-out method, you wearing condoms. There's female condoms on and so forth. So yeah, that holds complete merit.
Plan B,
yeah. And then Champ also says is these hoes be thinking they can make a nigga stay by having a baby. They do. They think it's the glue. Having a baby is the glue that holds you two together. And it's funny because I say this a lot to people because I guess I'll point it out on this is that I've seen a lot of content more recently about moms with kids already, and then the stepdad comes in and he's trying to help parent his stepkids, and the mom is like, you can't tell my kids what to do. Those are my kids. You're not their dad, so on and so forth. But I mean, the thing that tied y'all together is the fact that y'all got married, so that makes them his stepkids, and those are your kids. So there is a tie in a way, but that goes on a whole different tangent that I'm not going to get into right this current second. We can go into it in a second after I finish these comments, but yeah. Then Champ says, nah, bro, nobody should have a choice. Nah, bro, nobody should have a choice, choose them. Oh, abortion, no, nothing. Otherwise, a nigga should be able to leave. At least that's not killing the kid. Yup. Some things are generational. Camille, some things are generational. And there's a lot of things that I can honestly say as far as etiquette goes and things like that, as far as the generations before me might have had, and our generation might have, and then the next generation down might not have, and things like that. There's a lot of different stuff that a lot of different directions that can go in, and I can talk about, but
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it was that she was saying is generational, but it is, a lot of shit is generational, because people again. These people, a lot of kids don't have dads, so. For the men, they don't know how to be a good dad or be a good man to a woman because they don't have an example of it. And a lot of women don't have an example of what a good man is or a good dad is and how they should be treated. So, a lot of times, the whole daddy issues thing is that they're looking for a dad or they're looking for basically someone to fill that void that their dad basically left. They're looking for someone who. But that's the thing. They don't know what they're looking for because the dad wasn't there. They're just like, oh well, he's masculine. He's in charge. Whatever he, does this, he does that. But it doesn't.
Showed them.
But it doesn't actually fully translate to like being a good person. They just like see someone who can command a room. They see the charisma that they have, and they're just like, oh okay, well, that's what I've been looking for. I've been looking for a leader. You know what I'm saying? But just someone who has leadership qualities doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good person or that they know how to have a family or to raise a family. Because again, a lot of times these niggas were fatherless too, so they don't know what qualities. They just like, oh, okay, well I know how to command a room and I know how to be aggressive and I know how to be assertive and I know how to get what I want out of a woman or whoever, but they don't know how to actually like care for a woman or care for a family or to deal with tough situations. Because a lot of times, a lot of people in general, men and women, if they see a tough situation, they instead of confronting it head on, they just leave or run away. So a lot of niggas, they don't know what it's like to like be a stand tall nigga. So they have a kid and they just freak out and they just leave.
It's funny that you say. There was a point in there that you had said kind of before you had talked about like seeing somebody be a leader or whatever, but it's interesting to say basically everything that you said because it points out to those women who go into a job and they start dating the manager or something of that nature because then they see that person as a person of power, kind of like it all stems from the trauma of daddy issues and stuff like that, but it basically that's why they go into dating their boss and things like that. They see that person as a person of power, somebody who can command a room, somebody who can people listen to and so on and so forth, and then that it attracts to them or they are attracted to that, and that's ultimately stems from the daddy issues, the trauma of not having a father or what they see as a leader. Like I said, they only have the examples that they see, and I said like on TV and stuff like that, and a lot of us grew up watching Disney Channel and stuff, which I won't say Disney Channel didn't give us a lot of positive like father role models, but they definitely like showed us like kids who had fathers, and then there's granted, now I think back on it, that movie Jumped In or whatever it was called with Corbin Blue, you realize that his dad was a single dad. But you notice they always kill off the moms. But to that point, yeah, like.
Well, no, that you brought that up. I mean, yeah, I kind of wanted to address this earlier when you said something about single dads are looked at a certain way opposed to single moms. More often than not, if there's a custody battle, the woman's going to win regardless of what she does. She had to be an absolute and complete piece of shit, and the dad would have to be a really good guy and really put in a lot of effort to try to get his kid. Or, like you said, the mother passed away. So, more often than not, yeah, he went out of his way to be a father to his child, even though he wasn't in a relationship with the child's mom. Women don't have to try to get custody. They just normally are just going to get custody regardless. Men have to put in the effort. So more likely than not, they really want to be a dad, and they're really going to try their best to be a dad to their child because they had to fight. They had to fight to get there. They could have just not cared and just let the mom take care of it and pay child support. Facts. Or not pay child support, just completely disappear and off the map. But they have to put in that much more effort to even be a father. So more likely than not, they're going to put everything they can into being a father, and so. They had to do it without a mother, but at the same time, they are putting in the effort, basically, to try. And even in that movie, Jump In, he's trying to get that nigga to go to college. He was like, "Oh yeah, you got the scholarship, blah blah." And this nigga wanted to jump rope.
Yeah, I mean, and that speaks a lot to why single fathers are looked at more positively than single mothers. Um, there's been so many cases where single moms I'm not going to say single mothers, but so many cases where women have just one custody over their children just for the simple fact that they're the mom. Not that they can provide more. It'll be the fact that the man can make twice as much as a woman, and the mom could be a mom, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna grant the children to the mother, and you have to pay half your salary or whatever, X, Y, and Z, to help them sustain the same lifestyle that you have. But yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, like you said, like the dad was definitely trying to do something better for the kids, and get him a scholarship, help him make sure he got a scholarship, make sure he stayed in school, so on and so forth. But yeah, that was a lot. We definitely hit on a lot of points as far as like single moms and stuff like that. Like there's definitely a lot of different directions this conversation could go from here. We definitely talked about games and all types of stuff. We've been going for basically 2 hours now. We've had a peak of like 5 people watching at one point in time. You realize that? We got 3 people watching right now. But yeah, push it to the limit. What do you mean, push it to the limit? But yeah. It's definitely it's I don't know. I'm losing my mind all of a sudden. Go ahead.
The overall message is women have caught up to men in cheating. Men are 10 times more horny than women. These are whores. I used to hate women. And absolutely nothing has changed.
Not the Zherka take. Not the Zherka take. He said, I used to hate women. Absolutely nothing has changed.
It sounded like you were trying to end it. I don't know. I have more.
No, it wasn't necessarily. I mean, I just kind of lost my train of thought for 2 seconds, and I didn't know what we was about to talk about or where we were going with the conversation. I know I have a way of trying to segue into other things and stuff like that. I mean, if you're down to keep going like Myron, we can keep going. But unless you want to get on Myron, pause.
Hey yo. I mean, I don't really have anything like important to talk about. It's like 4 a.m. So.
He said it's like 4 a.m.
I mean, I could always talk about more wrestling.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you could talk about more wrestling. You were ready to go on wrestling for another like hour. You're just like, I guess the real question is, what's on your mind about it? What do you want to talk about?
About wrestling?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched. Well, I guess SmackDown is on Friday, which is like technically tomorrow now. The bloodline shit is back up and cooking, boys. Roman Reigns is back. The Rock is back. Jacob Fatu is here. Solo Sikoa's been cooking. The Tongans have been cooking. Jay has been cooking. He just lost his title. I'm pretty upset about that. I feel like it was a tease. Again, I talked about it. It was always meant to be this way. People don't like Jey Uso. Jey Uso hate is forced. People are like, oh, he's not great in ring, blah blah. But like, this is WWE. Part of it is entertainment. You can't. There's no one that has more crowd participation. Well, Roman Reigns is probably the only person that gets more crowd participation, that has more crowd control than Jey Uso. The thing is with Jey Uso, the reason why I would say it's really close between him and Roman, who's most over with the crowd and has the most crowd participation, is because it's Jey Uso gets people to stand up, and Roman gets people to stand up too. But all they do when Roman comes out is put the one up. That's all they got to do. People get up and yeet with Jey Uso every single time. You see damn near the whole arena do it. Every time he comes out, you see them, the whole doing it. And every time he, he can just say it, yeet, they all do it. Everyone does it. You hear everyone in unison say it. You see everyone get up and do the little dance or whatever, the yeet, whatever. You see it every single time. But I said Roman's the only other one. Well, Roman is number one, right? And then Seth is pretty up there, and Cody's pretty up there also. But yeah, anyway, back to my thing with Jey. My thing, I feel like Jey Uso hate his force because people are like, oh well, he's not that great in ring. But that's just not. I won't say it's not important, but that's not as important as what Jey has, which is the ability to get over with the crowd and have the crowd that much on your side. Jey Uso is always top 10 in merch sales, and it's probably like 2 or 3 of his shirts that are always top 10 in merch sales. And that's what, at the end of the day, it's always to make money. So Jey Uso makes them a lot of money. And again, you don't just because someone is successful and just because they're making their company a lot of money or doing a good job for their company doesn't mean you necessarily have to like them. But I just don't understand where the hate comes from. Like, people were like absolutely hate Jey Uso, and they don't think he should win they don't think he should ever win a title. They're upset that he won a title, and they don't think that he can do anything. He can't be his own man. And Roman Reigns did make Jey Uso, but Jey Uso was able to sustain. He was been away from the bloodline for a whole year. They kind of intertwined again when he had his match with Jimmy at WrestleMania, but for the most part, they've been away from each other. He's been doing it on his own. Once Cody, he was the biggest face on WrestleMania when Cody was there, and then he really was. It was undisputed when Cody left and went to SmackDown, also because Seth Rollins was injured. But it's still Jey Uso. Jey Uso still gets that crowd participation every single time he comes out. And people really just don't like this man. I was really confused. I feel like it's
win, lose, or draw. It's still main event. Jey Uso.
Yeah. So, but the Bloodline storyline is cooking. He pulled up to SmackDown last week. He's talking shit to Jacob Fatu. If you don't know who Jacob Fatu is, he is the most dangerous man in the Bloodline for sure.
No.
Solo didn't let them do it. Solo didn't let them fight because obviously we got to build the suspense. We got to build it up. Most likely, it's going to culminate in the Survivor Series. It's going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline, old Bloodline basically versus new Bloodline basically. It's gonna be Roman, Jey, Jimmy. I don't know for sure who's going to join up with them. People were talking about Sammy joining with them, which is whatever. It's kind of cool. That's what Sammy was best when he was in the Bloodline. That's when he was the most entertaining because he was able to play off of them because for the most part everything was serious. Roman Reigns was serious and he made the Usos serious, even though they're more kind of like funny guys too. But he made them be more serious on screen, and Sammy kind of like broke that and made them feel more human, like it's a more natural thing and not just like an act. They can go up there and it's okay to laugh and it's okay to have fun and enjoy your time because you're already at the top, so you don't have to be all business all the time. You can enjoy the fruits of your labor every now and again. So I wouldn't mind if Sammy was over there. They look like they're setting it up because it's going to be 5-on-5. Looks like they're setting it up to where most likely 5-on-5. They could do whatever they want. But they're trying to get Cody on their side. I don't know if it's going to go that far it's not going to go that far with KO. They're definitely like turning KO. Well, KO's turn. He beat up Cody after Bad Blood in the parking lot. Then he tried to beat him up again in the ring, and then Randy Orton put hands on him, and then they beat up Randy Orton backstage. Like, he's turned. I doubt they're going to go as far as to have him mix up with the new Bloodline. I don't think it's going to get that far, but we still have yet to find out exactly what The Rock's involvement in all this is. The Rock showed up at the end of Bad Blood and then just kind of like did a little whatever thing with his fingers, counted to 3, and then they wiped his fingers across his neck, almost like a "you're done" type sign, type gesture. But I don't know what, like, we don't know what that was all about. They haven't even mentioned him since then, which is kind of weird. But people are assuming that he's like the mastermind behind Solo's bloodline, basically. I don't know if that's exactly the case, but I do think that he is basically there to basically try to disown Roman, basically, because Roman, in his eyes, Roman failed. He lost his championship at WrestleMania, um, and so
Is that what made him lose, like, head of the table?
He's still the head of the table, but
Right.
the whole thing, whatever the tribal chief, or whatever, is that necklace, the Ulafala. That's like what signifies who the tribal chief is, like who the quote unquote head of the table is, whatever. Um, but yeah, he basically I don't know exactly how Solo got it. I think Paul Heyman had it. I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman had it because Paul Heyman was still around. Roman was gone. I think Paul Heyman still had it, and I think Solo got it from Paul Heyman, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, so I think in the Rock's eyes, Roman failed not only the Rock, but he failed the family. He failed the bloodline by losing to Cody Rhodes. Even though it was a lot of interference, what happened at the end was Roman got distracted because he wanted to get Seth back for stabbing him in the back all those years ago. Whenever he hit him with the chair in the back, even though he already got back for it, it's still he got back. He got that back in 2022 Royal Rumble. I was actually just watching that. He had the chair and he did it. He hit Seth in the back the same way he did. He felt the same way he did. But that's still something. It's the long-term storytelling thing that Triple H is doing. It's still something that he still has not gotten over in his mind when Seth stabbed him in the back. So that is basically what led to he saw the opportunity to hit Rollins with the chair. So he did, and it gave Cody the opportunity to recover, hit him with the crossroads, and then, he won. He won from there. So I think in Rock's eyes, even with all the other interference that was going on, John Cena came out, The Undertaker came out, Jay came out, Solo came out. All the people that ended up coming out or whatever. Solo was on Roman Reigns' side, but yeah, Jay was on Cody's side. John Cena was on Cody's side. Undertaker was on Cody's side. Even with all the interference that happened, obviously Roman had interference on his side as well. The Rock, and Seth Rollins also came for Cody. The Rock, Jimmy Uso, Solo, they all came to try to help Roman. Anyways, even with all that, at the end of the day, it was Roman's inability to get over the past that led to his downfall and his demise, and I think The Rock is not happy about that. So I'm pretty sure he's against Roman Reigns, but a lot of people think that he's the catalyst for Solo cosplaying as the tribal chief and trying to basically take everything from Roman. I don't think that's the case. I think Solo did that on his own. I think Solo was getting too big for his britches. It's possible that Jacob Fatu is a plant. Maybe even the Tongans. I'm not 100% sure about the Tongans, but I do think Jacob Fatu is a plant from The Rock, basically trying to swerve everybody and make everybody think that Solo is in charge, and I think Solo thinks that he's in charge, but it's really The Rock. So in a way, I still think that he's like kind of the mastermind behind it, but I don't think Solo's in on it. That's a lot of people like, oh yeah, he put Solo up to this. I don't think Solo's in on it. I think Solo really thinks that he's the tribal chief. So I think that he'll eventually end up going back to the original bloodline because Jimmy and Jay are going to be there, which are his brothers, and Roman made him relevant. So
wait, what you saying that? Do you think that anybody on Solo's team, the I forget what the two who had the tag team title,
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Tongans.
The Tongans. Do you think the Tongans or Jacob Fatua knows anything of this? Granted, this is your own opinion and your hypothetical opinion or whatever about The Rock running this particular narrative. But in your narrative, do you think that anybody on Solo's side knows of this narrative?
You said, what was the last part you said?
Basically, I'm saying, do you think that if The Rock is pulling the strings, do you think that anybody who is backing Solo right now, Jacob Fatu or the Tongans, knows of this, is working, alongside The Rock?
Yeah, I think Jacob Fatu is the only one. I think that I think it's only Jacob Fatu. I think the Tongans just fall in line because they're lackeys at the end of the day. Jacob Fatu has a mind of his own though, but it's the bloodline, and it's family, and there is a hierarchy in the family. Roman is at the top, and The Rock is also at the top, but
you don't think there's anybody outside of the WWE verse who's slightly at the top?
I mean, they do talk about the elders every now and again or whatever, which is, I don't know who they would even consider the elders at this point. I mean, maybe Rikishi. I doubt it, because
he the only one alive?
Rikishi be talking too much shit. No, there's a lot of niggas that are old as hell. I don't know. I doubt she's a part of it, but The Rock's mom is still alive.
The Usos' dad just died, right?
No, Rikishi is the Usos' dad. Roman Reigns' dad. Roman's dad, Sika, died, and his brother Alpha died. The Wild Samoans, they just died recently, over the past few months. But they were the ones who presented Roman Reigns with the Ulafala originally, but they're gone now, so that's not possible. But yeah, like I said, The Rock's mom is probably the oldest living member. Probably, I don't know. Their family is like really huge, so there's a lot of them niggas like spread out everywhere. A lot of them niggas are old as hell. But and I don't think they're probably gonna abandon the elders angle, because Rikishi talks way too much shit about WWE and their booking of Jay. I don't think he's in on it. I mean, he could be. It could just be, trying to make us think that he's not a part of it, but I don't think that would be the case. And if it was the case, I don't think he would not approve of what Solo did to Jimmy. That's for sure, because that's also his son. That's his oldest son at that. So I don't think he would approve of that. So I don't think he would have any say over that. I think that I don't think it goes outside the WWE. Basically, to answer your question, I think it's The Rock at the top and Roman at the top. And so for Jacob, right, for everyone else, for Solo and the Usos, Roman's at the top, because he got them to the top. But for Jacob Fatu, he wasn't around when Roman was the tribal chief. So in his mind, in the hierarchy, it's The Rock at the top, because he's seen what The Rock, you know what I'm saying? He knows The Rock. The Rock is The Rock. You know what I'm saying? So in his mind, that's the hierarchy, especially if he's the one, like I said, if he's a plant, which I think he's a plant, if The Rock is the one who brought him into all this, then in his mind, it's going to be The Rock at the top, and always going to be The Rock at the top. The Tongans, like I said, they're just lackeys. They're going to probably just follow Jacob, because right now it's Solo, but obviously they were there before Jacob came, but there was nobody else around. It was just Solo. Roman wasn't around. Jimmy's not.
Because it was like Jacob and Solo, like, for like a half second, right?
Nah, Jacob came last. He's the most recent one to join the bloodline at all. It was the Tongans that came first. Because, so once after WrestleMania, Roman left. Jimmy was still around, but Jimmy's not trying to be the tribal chief. He's not trying to be a leader. Solo was the tribal heir. He told him, when I'm done, you're the tribal heir, right? So he basically, decided, like, oh, well, Roman's gone now. But, like, he's not really gone. So that's what Paul Heyman was like, he's not gone. He's just, he's just not here right now. And Solo took it upon himself to start shit. And then he took out, he brought the Tongans in. He took out Paul Heyman. And he took out Jimmy. So when the Tongans got there, that was the person to follow, was Solo. Because nobody else was trying to be tribal chief except for Solo. So he was the one to follow. And this nigga Jacob, then he came after that, and he'd be just overdoing it. He'd be over juicing it with the whole. He'd be praying to this nigga, telling him he loves him, he acknowledges him, all that. Like loving and acknowledging. Well, loving is one thing, but acknowledging Solo Sikoa is insane. So I don't think it's real from his part, and the Tongans are just going to go along with him, because if what I'm saying is true and Solo's not a part of it, they're going to disrespect Solo the way they did Jimmy, most likely, and the way they did Paul Heyman. They're going to make it to where you can't acknowledge him anymore. So the Tongans are just gonna, if The Rock comes out and says acknowledge me, the Tongans are gonna acknowledge him, especially if Jacob's already doing it.
You got a little interesting narrative. I like it. I like it.
And all these niggas have enough kids where the bloodline storyline will never end.
Yeah,
but
man.
what I'm thinking it has to happen sooner rather than later. If The Rock is gonna see, I don't know if they're gonna have The Rock be in the Survivor Series match. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing or he's just gonna be like, you know, the final boss on the sidelines or whatever. You know, just watching and making sure his shit does shit. I'm almost certain because Cody's like super in the bloodline shit. So even if he's not in the War Games match, he's still in that storyline. And I think I'm almost certain that The Rock is going to be the one to take Cody's title from him. I think that's going to happen probably at Royal Rumble, I would assume.
How far away is Royal Rumble?
That's at the beginning of February. It's actually
we got,
I don't know. I would assume it's probably like the day before the Super Bowl. Honestly, I'm not. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. I know the Super Bowl's early February, and I know Royal Rumble's early February. But also they're doing Saturday Night Main Event. They're bringing that back in December. I think it's just like a one-off show in New York, but it's supposed to be a really big show. They may try to do it there. I don't know, or they may do it at Royal Rumble. You know, fantasy booking, obviously. I think Cody should lose to Rock at Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns should win the Royal Rumble and then challenge The Rock at WrestleMania. Then get their Rock and WrestleMania match. John Cena to win the Elimination Chamber and challenge Gunther at WrestleMania. And then, you know, John Cena's going to win. Roman Reigns is going to win. John Cena gets
Gunther's
his...
still going to have the title.
Yeah, I'm almost 1,000% sure he will. I don't see anybody taking it from him. I don't even know he doesn't have like an active feud right now. I guess he's technically feuding with Cody, but that's for the Crown Jewel Championship, not for like his World Heavyweight Championship. He doesn't really have a feud. They teased the feud with Braun Breaker, and then they obviously had Braun Breaker take the title back from Jay.
Main event Jey Uso.
So I don't know exactly who. I don't know who he's beefing with right now. I don't think he really has like a real active beef. It's gone. Drew McIntyre got it and cashed in that same day and lost because CM Punk hoard.
Never mind.
But yeah, that's how I think. And then I think if we go even further, John Cena's gonna win World Heavyweight Championship. So his 17th world title, which will be the record. He's tied with Ric Flair right now at 16. If you ask Ric Flair, he has like 18, but he's old as hell. Yeah, he'll get his 17th world title because John Cena's retiring next year. He's basically going on a retirement tour. And I think, you know, if they really want to do it, they could have... I don't know if it might be too early still, but they could have Dom win Money in the Bank and cash in on John Cena at some point. Maybe like a SummerSlam. They're probably going to do like John Cena versus like, I don't know, Randy Orton or something. That would be cool. At some point, just because it's his last year, they had to have, you know, a big send-off, and then have Dom cash in there. That would be dope. I don't know if they're ready to pull the trigger on Dom being world champion yet. He still has to like get a... I feel like they still want to get him a mid-card championship first, but...
Dom is still playing sideline character to a lot of different people. JD McDonough, Liv Morgan, you know, a bunch of other people, but he's not ready to stand in the light yet. Honestly,
I don't think I don't know if he's ready to stand in line, but I couldn't disagree more about what the first part you said. Everybody that
JD McDonough might not be a good example.
Everybody
Finn Balor
everything is revolving around Dom. It's all about Dom.
It is all about Dom.
The Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan thing is about Dom.
It's about Dom, but Dom is still not like completely playing main character to it. It's just like the Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero whole feud. Like, oh, they're fighting over Dom. Like Dom's like the reason, but he's not the main character. Like the two main characters were Liv and Rhea Ripley, or you know, like Damian Priest and Finn Balor and what's his name, Crimson Chin or whatever, JD McDonough, yeah. And it's like he's playing a stand-up prop to these other like main character storylines. Like he is the supporting like cast member to all of these stories, but I can agree without him those storylines don't exist. But at the same time, like he's not like really like he's not like having like as far as it goes, like he's not getting majority of the lines.
Majority of the what?
Lines, and I just say I say lines to say like as if this was a movie. Like I said, like main character, like he's not getting majority of the lines. Like the story is written around him, but he's not the main one talking. Like I said, like even the Damian Priest stuff, like all of that stuff is really stemmed around Dominic, but it's Damian Priest talking bullshit to Finn Balor and fucking JD McDonough and whoever else is in the locker room that he wants to talk to.
Well, the Finn and Damian thing is almost like separate of the Dom thing in a way. Only reason they were all a part of Judgment Day at one point, but it's kind of separate. But
like anything with Judgment Day on it has Dom's name on it. To your point of saying like the reason is because of Dom.
Yeah, so Dom, like with the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan thing, all the biggest moments in that feud revolve around Dom. Like obviously it's like Dom betrayed Rhea or whatever at SummerSlam, but he made that spot what it was with the chair, all that. He made that what it was, and then making out with her after. And then even their next match was a mixed tag match. So it was Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Damian. And then the next match was, the main attraction of that match was Dom being in the cage. And then the main part of it was him falling out of the cage and hanging there. So, like I said, everything revolves around Dom. And without Dom, it doesn't exist. So, like, I see what you're saying. Like, he doesn't have, like, lines and stuff like that. But he's still... It's still there. It's still Dom's journey. It's Dom's journey that we're going along. I guess it's not really Liv's journey. It's not really Rhea's journey. It's Dom's journey that we're following.
Yeah, like you said, like it's highlighted when Dom fell out of the cage, but granted, it's a match with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Like, granted, the point of the match is the fight over Dominic Mysterio, but it's a match with them two in it. So, like, majority of the time we're trying to pay attention to them. He falls out of the cage. Rhea goes over there, starts beating him with the kendo stick or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of other dramatics happen and blah, 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 blah. But,
yeah, it's all about Dom, I would say. He's like I said, I don't know if he's ready to be a world champion just yet. I think they'll probably give him a mid-card title or something like that. But it's going to be a career-making moment, I think, for someone to cash in on John Cena. Because they can't, because, Money in the Bank's always going to be after WrestleMania. So, if what I'm saying happens and he does win his championship at WrestleMania, it's going to be... There's going to be no Money in the Bank for that to happen. They could wait until SummerSlam, because I think SummerSlam is 2 nights next year, so they're making a big spectacle of that. They could wait until SummerSlam to try to give him his championship, and then someone would have the Money in the Bank. So I think they could make one. They could make a heel. They could take a heel to the moon if they cash in and stop John Cena from winning his 17th championship. And then even at that, SummerSlam's not the last PLE of the year, so they could even do the whole thing where they stop John Cena and they become a megastar or whatever, become an ultra heel, and then still have a match with John Cena and still let John Cena win that match and still get his 17th world title, even through making the guy big, and then you have a feud or whatever, however they want to do it. John Cena will win a world championship in 2025. I can guarantee that. I think it's going to be
quoted. He said, "2025, John Cena's going to get a title."
Or someone's going to, if he doesn't get a title, it's going to be because somebody cashed in at the last minute to stop him from winning. It's going to be one of those two. But either going to make a new star or they're gonna let John Cena break the record. They're probably gonna let John Cena break the record and try to make a new star because they're greedy, and it's obviously you wanna reward John Cena for all the work that he's done, but also you want to build towards the future because he's retiring, and he's never gonna be. He's not going to be there in a full-time capacity ever again. He's moved on to Hollywood.
With Bray Wyatt gone, I don't know who's going to take the title off of John Cena. That would be interesting. but you started this conversation saying Dominic Mysterio and him having his whole title run and all this other stuff. But I don't see Dominic feuding with anybody. To come for his title. What is he going to do? Just fight Judgment Day? Every night over his title? Until one of them takes it, and then they're going to just have some rando take it off of them? Like Drew McIntyre? That's a totally random storyline.
I think that could be how they do it, but there's no way Judgment Day is still a thing by the end of 2025.
Well, I'm not saying Judgment Day is a thing exactly, but I'm saying the cast members of Judgment Day, that would be their whole feud. The 4 or 5 of them or whatever, 6 of them, however many they want to account in that feud or whatever. Liv, Rhea, Damien, JD, fucking Finn, just all of them, their whole storylines interline, basically. So I wouldn't see them putting Dominic Mysterio up against AJ Styles when he comes back in a year.
They could. The thing is, the possibilities are endless. They can do almost whatever they want. Again, Judgment Day's not surviving through the year. I don't know what's going to happen. It could be that Finn Balor wins a championship or Dom wins a championship. I think Dom will win a championship before the end of 2025. I don't know if it's going to be a world championship. It could be the Intercontinental Championship or something like that. Or he could just feel some type of way. Liv is done basically after she faces Rhea Ripley and Rhea Ripley takes her title back. Liv's going to be in a tag team with Raquel Rodriguez. That's what she's going to be doing moving forward. And then eventually Dom's going to break away, or they're going to break away from Dom. I don't know. Dom might not even be a heel by the end of 2025, to be honest.
Is he a heel now?
Most definitely. He's probably the biggest heel in the business right now.
He's the most likable heel there is.
Likable? Dominic Mysterio?
Yeah. He's
Church.
I wouldn't even say Dominic Mysterio is completely hated as much as he's just they keep I feel like WWE is forcing Dominic Mysterio on this. We're gonna keep putting Dominic Mysterio on TV because he's got the last name Mysterio. But other than that, it's just I'd rather see RKO on TV or shit. Give me another Bianca Belair Jade Cargill spot. They could defend their title 2 times a night. I don't care.
You're saying over seeing Dom?
Yeah.
But you like Dom.
No.
You just said he's likable.
I said, I definitely said he's likable. But I would say that he's too likable. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay. You're confusing it because the whole conversation was that Dom is a heel. You were saying that Dom's a heel. I'm he's too likable to be a heel.
Yeah, but what makes him likable? This nigga runs away from every fight.
Yeah.
This nigga betrayed Rhea Ripley for absolutely no reason. Because fucking Liv lets this nigga eat chicken tendies.
Yeah.
This nigga was given everything. And
it's comical like R-Truth.
It's not that funny.
It's not. It's not that entertaining, but it's just entertaining like R-Truth. It's not though I feel like the whole Dom storyline is just entertaining. It's not cool.
At the end of the day, what's a WWE wrestler's job? It's to entertain us. And it's entertaining. It's a TV show. At the end of the day, it's a TV show.
Cool.
He's an actor on a TV show, and he's entertaining you. That's what you're supposed to do as an actor on a TV show. You're supposed to entertain the audience, and he does entertain the audience. He was forced to be a heel because when he first got to WWE, he didn't go to NXT. He was just Rey Mysterio's son, and everyone hated him for it. So that's what when you get enough heat, when you get enough hate from the crowd, you're almost forced to turn heel. That's what happened to Roman Reigns. You're forced to turn heel. He was seduced into the Judgment Day basically by Rhea Ripley.
I almost want to do a gauging of heel versus not heel with you. Just off of this conversation, but continue.
Yeah, so he was basically forced into it. Have you heard Dom try to speak?
Yes.
They just boo the whole time.
They boo him.
That's the same crowd reaction Jey Uso gets. It's just the exact opposite. It's just booing instead of cheering. But that's what they want to get a reaction out of you. He's the heel everyone loves to hate. And that's what
I can accept that.
That's what a heel is supposed to be. You're not supposed to not want. It's not supposed to be hate to the point you don't want to see this nigga. It's supposed to be hate to the point where I like.
So why do they keep putting Braun Breaker on TV?
Because Braun Breaker is over. They should have turned Braun. They turned Braun Breaker face and they switched back for whatever reason. I don't know why, but niggas love Braun Breaker. Well, every time he comes out, you hear the hoo 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 hoo. Niggas are barking for this nigga Braun Breaker. Niggas are barking for another man, somebody's son. They love this nigga Braun Breaker. This nigga Braun Breaker is wrestling royalty, basically.
Yo, cousin, rise and shine. Go to bed, niggas. Never.
But yeah, so niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas fuck with him. So, same thing with, Drew. They love seeing this nigga Drew tormenting CM Punk and getting tormented by CM Punk. They love to see, I said, they just love to hate a heel. Like, there's niggas like fucking, what's the, I'm trying to think of some nigga that's trash, but I can't think of like a super trash nigga. They don't want these niggas on TV. They want Dom on TV. Niggas like seeing Ricochet wrestle. Because Ricochet's a good wrestler.
Ricochet, but they do Ricochet dirty.
They just don't want to hear Ricochet speak.
They don't.
But they love seeing him wrestle because he's a great wrestler. But
they'll throw Ricochet on NXT any night.
That nigga's in AEW now. That nigga's gone. And he took Samantha from us, which I hate him for. But yeah.
That's the announcer?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so there's niggas that niggas just don't want to see at all. Like, nigga, why the fuck is this nigga on my TV type of hate? But Dom gets the type of hate where they love booing him. They love seeing bad things happen. They loved it whenever nigga fell out the shark cage. They love seeing him on TV being treated poorly and just acting like a child.
With no shoes on.
Matt Riddle, he's gone too.
Man.
Hated that nigga Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
But so you said you're gonna try to gauge what a heel is,
No, I would want you to just like tell us what a heel or non-heel, or I mean, just off of my description, or not necessarily description, but off of my like understanding and questioning. Just like, oh yeah, well, is Randy Orton right now? He's a face?
Yeah, he's a baby face for sure.
He definitely is playing face, even though he feels very heel. Well, I guess today's like wrestling, it's very hard to like. I wouldn't say very hard, but it's definitely not as distinctive as it used to be to say like who's a heel and who's a face.
They did blur the lines a little bit more. It's almost like basketball, to where it's like kind of positionless. So they do blur the lines a little bit more than they used to. Before it was like, well, really Stone Cold started it with the kind of like badass face type gimmick, like because Vince McMahon was basically the heel. So, Vince McMahon was like because usually heels are the one doing like underhanded tactics and like doing like, kind of like fuck shit, in a way. You know, the heels usually the one doing like fuck shit most of the time, right? You know, bringing out a beer truck and like shit like that. But yeah, but Vince McMahon was the heel. You know, basically just the asshole boss. And niggas like seeing Stone Cold, you know, just beat that nigga up or, you know, just beef with that nigga. But it was like, since Vince McMahon was a bad guy, was a heel, and which is another thing too. It's someone said it, I forgot who it was, but it kind of resonated. A heel and face can be whatever you want it to be. Because the heel is supposed to be the guy you're rooting against, and the face is supposed to be the guy you're rooting for. But you can root for whoever you want to root for. So, and in my eyes, right?
It's kind of like a boys situation.
A what situation?
The boys.
Yes and no. I mean, I guess kind of, because it's like a perception thing, but they got to the point in the boys where, like, this nigga, what's his name, is just a complete asshole. Yeah, everyone knows he's an asshole, and yeah, whatever. They kind of just like basically treating that nigga like Trump now. But anyways, so yeah, like in the whole
Y'all are a bunch of Trumps.
Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud. CM Punk was the baby face and Drew McIntyre was the heel. But I was rooting for Drew McIntyre the whole time. Fuck CM Punk. Never cared for CM Punk. Still don't care for CM Punk. But yeah, so it's kind of just like how you look at it. But yeah, but which yeah, so it's just like how you perceive it or whatever. Because yeah, like, you know, Roman Reigns was traditionally a heel, but I fuck with Roman Reigns more than I fuck with usually whoever he's going up against. Like, I'm glad Cody finished his story. It was beautiful, you know, because he had been talking it up for like a whole year, and it was like, man, I kind of, you know, he's a super baby face, so he does get behind. It's easy to get behind and just be like, yeah, you know, let's go Cody, this, that, and the third. And he finished his story, and it was beautiful. It was great seeing everybody in the ring, and it was lit. I was like, man, that's fire, bro. I fuck with that. But I wish Roman won. But you know, that's just the nature of it. And even now, what Roman Reigns is now is kind of in between a babyface and a heel, because he's still kind of a heel, and that's what they're kind of like. When he first came back, first thing he said was, everyone thinks I changed. Everyone thinks I changed. I haven't changed at all. I just want what's mine. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got a big pop, he got a huge crowd reaction whenever he came out at what was it, SummerSlam? Yeah, it has to be SummerSlam. I think that it was SummerSlam that he came out, and he just, you know, everyone was super excited that he was back. But he's like, yeah, now y'all think that different, like shit don't change around here, nigga. And so then they kind of went with the whole like, oh, the sympathy, but you want you to feel sympathetic for him because he keeps getting jumped by the bloodline, and this nigga Solo is just like a piece of shit or whatever. So it's like they kind of go like, yeah, you know, he's a face now, you know what I'm saying, you're on his side or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go. And Solo was like, yeah, you know, you can end, you know, Roman can end this all. He just has to come out here, acknowledge me, and then Roman was like, yeah, all right, whatever, I'll go out there and do it just to appease this nigga or whatever. But then whenever that nigga Solo tested that nigga, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, that's basically what this whole thing is Solo challenging Roman, and Roman can't allow that. For one, you did it a dirty way, nigga. You didn't have to do that to Jimmy. You didn't have to do that to Paul Heyman. This nigga's 70, bro. There's no reason to put Paul Heyman through an announce table, nigga. And that's my nigga. So, you know what I'm saying? He helped us. He's just as responsible for getting us here as I am. So he's like, nigga, you're doing too much. And then so he's like, but anyway, he's like, we can you know, squash it or whatever. I'll acknowledge you if that's what you want, nigga. And that nigga's like, yeah, but like that nigga Solo knows, like, yeah, I know you said that, but you don't really mean it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, so it's not enough for you to just say you acknowledge me, nigga. Cause you can acknowledge me as anything, but you have to acknowledge me as the tribal chief. And then that's when he really tested that nigga's gangster. He said, or else. And then Roman really look like, this nigga is really fucking, this nigga is tweaking. Or else what, nigga? Or what, nigga? What the fuck you gonna do if I don't acknowledge you as tribal chief, nigga? And then he's like, there it is, nigga. I knew you were still in there, nigga. I know that it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not all, roses and all whatever, nigga. It's not all happy go lucky with you, nigga. I know you're still that same nigga. That you still have that same pride, nigga. You still have that Samoan pride. You still have that dog in you, nigga. You still want to be. You still have the desire to be on top. And you're not just gonna allow me to be on top, nigga. Pause. But yeah.
Roll over on your back and just do whatever I say. Yeah, that's the thing. The Bloodline is a very interesting storyline and plot. Like the fact that they have that going, like WWE and all that stuff. The Bloodline makes for a huge, them to take the narratives in so many different directions because they have so many different characters to play with, if you will.
Yeah, but they've been making, that family's been making WWE money since the beginning of WWE, basically. At least Vince's WWF, whatever you want to call it. The Wild Samoans were there. Rocky Johnson was there for a little bit. Like it's just they've been around for a long ass time. And then obviously The Rock, he was a big money maker, probably their second biggest money maker ever outside of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Even though, he's just been around, he's still kind of around, and Steve Austin's not really around. He does like his Broken Skulls podcast or whatever, which I'm pretty sure is affiliated with WWE. And he probably has like a Legends deal, which is like you don't really have to like appear on TV, but you still like do stuff for us, like promotions and like and commercials and shit like that, and they still get paid for I think they get royalties from I know they got royalties from the old DVDs and shit. I don't know how that works with PLEs. I don't know if they get royalties from being on PLEs and shit, especially the way that it's set up now. It's not pay-per-view anymore, which I think in other countries you still do have to do pay-per-view. Because for whatever reason, it's everything that's on Peacock is on WWE Network outside the United States. But anyways, I don't know how that works, but they still make the action figures and shit like that. They still get paid from like shit like that and merchandise and shit like that. And those Austin 316 shirts still sell like crazy.
It's
I mean,
crazy how many people you see in the audience with the Austin 316.
Yeah, so I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin still may be their biggest money maker ever, but if it's not him, it's The Rock. They're 1 and 2 for sure. I don't know who's 1 and who's 2, but they're still 1 and 2. So obviously The Rock,
we know Jay
and then
Uso's
Roman
the
Reigns
3.
is probably top 10 already, if not top 5.
With Jay is the 3. Because you wouldn't have a main event without Jay Uso.
Jey Uso maybe top 50, top 25, like ever. I'm talking about ever, like throughout the whole course of the company, like made them the most money. Well, yeah, right now I already said merch sales. He's always top 10. He's always has like 3 or 4 shirts at the top of the merch sales. I'm just talking about like accumulative money since the WWF started. I think all time Stone Cold's probably made them the most money they've ever made. Like accumulatively, like he's probably made them $1 billion, and The Rock is probably close, if not past that. And Roman Reigns has probably made them. As like I said, he's probably top 5. Now, all time, Jay's like I said, top 50, top 25, because he's probably made them so much money over the past 2 years, really over the past year, honestly, from when he left the Bloodline, because he didn't really have his own merch then. It was all Bloodline merch. It was We the Ones. It was just a shirt with the 1 on it, or Uso shirt, or just some other tribal shit that they would have, but it was Bloodline shit. But when Jay, he started the Yeet shit, that Yeet shit went crazy. They had to fight for it. They had to stop saying it for like 2 weeks. They had to fight for it, but they wouldn't have fought for it if it wasn't making them a shit ton of money. They were just like, all right, Jay, get another gimmick, do something else. But it had already started making them so much money when he first started saying it. In the first month of him saying it, they was like, oh yeah, we got to. How much do you want, nigga? I don't know what it was. How much they paid that nigga? Probably get that nigga like, I don't know. At least the M. At least the M.
They held that nigga 100
because they made that M back fast, nigga.
They made an M and gave him 100 bands.
I mean he's an L if he did that, because you gotta, if they come knocking on your door, nigga, it's for a reason. That nigga Cody fleeced that nigga Vince McMahon. Because that nigga Vince McMahon came to his house. And he said, "You want to negotiate? Come to Atlanta." And nigga pulled up.
He made him dye his hair.
And once he pulled up to Atlanta, he knew. He was like, "Oh yeah, nigga, I got you, nigga."
He said, "You have to dye your hair."
Nah, nigga, Cody was blonde. Went blonde before he came back. And they wanted to, I think nigga, you know what I'm saying? Nigga wanted to embrace the dusty in him. Man, nigga, Cody's him too, man. I think Cody's probably top 10 and making them niggas money too. The American Nightmare shirts go crazy. Oh yeah, the fucking the bloodline, nigga, Samoans, nigga. That nigga Jimmy showed up, nigga. Bad blood, nigga, with the shirt. They not the ones. That was like the number one shirt the next day, nigga. Niggas started going crazy. They love it, and they make good merch.
Honestly, anything the bloodline supports, they got it on whenever they come out. I feel like it's going up.
Yeah, them OTC shirts going crazy. You know, I don't really fuck with the OTC moniker. Well, I don't think he actually said it. I think they might have said it on commentary. They're like, it's original Tribal Chief. I'm like, nah, nigga, it should be the only Tribal Chief. And nigga, Solo is not the Tribal Chief. Acknowledging Solo's crazy. I'll never forgive people for
It's
acknowledging.
the only time you'll ever hear me say something like this, but bring back Pat McAfee.
And you know he'll be back. He just he has other obligations.
He's got him to get on the table and eat.
He can't. You know, NFL is king. So, and he's got to. He,
able to do both.
I'm sure he can, but that nigga be doing a lot. That nigga need a break. He needs to sleep every now and then. They got a kid.
No. He wants to show up in his little his 50 Cent muscle t-shirts, and eat every week.
Sheesh. They had to pay him a substantial bag for that.
He's not that special.
You just said you need him.
To be there, but I don't
Yeah.
need him.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is.
This is a huge difference.
You would be more entertained if he was there. And a lot of other people would, and he knows that. And that's why that nigga's like, alright, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna focus on this NFL shit. He's probably, yeah, I'll do it.
Who is the other announcer when he's not there?
Joe Tessitore.
Who is the other? No.
He was a commentator on NFL games. He did Monday Night Football actually a couple years ago.
We'll take the trade off.
It was him, Jason Witten, and fucking Booger McFarlane.
Anything other than wrestling is not entertaining.
It was Witt, Boog, and Tess.
Yeah, he can go. Oh boy, can go back to doing football, and Pat McAfee can just do wrestling and eat every week.
That's hate. Pat's really successful, man.
As a wrestling commentator,
he's the only person to start a YouTube channel, a sports YouTube channel, and make it all the way from the back of his van to ESPN. Nobody's doing that. That's like, and he did it in like
he's the
5 or 6
version
years.
of Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's extremely successful. Logan Paul's way more successful than Pat McAfee, honestly, but he's extremely successful. And people found him entertaining doing what he did, but he didn't get his own TV show. And it's not, it's his show. The Pat McAfee show is Pat McAfee show. That's the midday sports show. That is the midday sports show. Just period. They're a couple stooges. He says it. Nigga, he's like, nigga, this show sucks. I don't know why y'all niggas watch this shit. Joe Testicle isn't wilding for you niggas is wilding, but yeah. Yeah, Larry knows. Larry knows the grind.
Joe Testicle losing Wallingford is hilarious.
Larry knows that Pat deserved everything he has. It's okay.
Pat does not.
and you know it. You see it. You see it in him.
He deserves to be on SmackDown every week.
You seen it. You seen it, and you loved it.
Even the nights when they don't come on TV, he needs to be there.
You seen the Let a Naysayer Know clip, right? Like, come on now. He's an entertainer.
Only when he's standing on the table,
You got it.
It's just me, Oos.
You got it, but you're definitely in the minority.
I'm hollering Joe Testicle.
Yeah, nigga Jordan definitely seen the vision. He doesn't want to admit it. I don't know. It's Matt had the same thing with Joe Rogan. Just hated everything he did for no reason. It's hate, but it's cool. It's because Pat McAfee's everything he wants to be.
No.
Everyone wants to start. Yeah, this is like us. It's like what Pat McAfee did is basically like us going from this to in 2030 we got a fucking talk show on fucking the biggest network in their field, which ESPN is the biggest network in sports. So whatever that field is, if we're talking sports right now, we're from here to ESPN. If we were like doing like fucking a scripted TV show, it'd be like us going from this to HBO. You know, it's it, or it's a network television, daytime TV, or like mommy doing her little show. It's like her going from there to the View.
Bring Fag McAfee back to WWE.
He'll be back, bro. NFL season will end at some point. I know you hate football.
I don't hate football. Football hates me.
Wow, that's saying.
It's facts. If football didn't hate me, then 100 players wouldn't go fucking injured in the first 4 weeks.
You said what?
I said if football didn't hate me, then the football gods would at least allow 100 people to not get injured on the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, they hate everybody this year for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
It's disgusting.
Nigga, Godwin died. Ayuk
I
died.
promise you, if you put on a fucking Falcons game right now, all you're gonna watch is them kicking field goals. Cause I swear, they love it. Hey, guess what? We just went 40 yards down the field. Guess what? We're in field goal range. Let's kick a field goal.
And they're figuring it out. They got Kirk Cousins is a new quarterback for them. They're figuring it out. He's been connecting with Pitts a little bit more. He's been connecting with Drake London more for sure. Bijan's starting to produce a little bit.
Drake London, I'm passing you about 3 times for 70 yards. Then we're gonna kick a field goal. Fuck your efforts.
But Younghoe Koo, they do love Younghoe Koo though for sure. Niggas got a job for life there.
Yeah. Bring our Asian nigga out. That nigga kicked the fuck out of a ball. They love that nigga, bro. Nah, but hey, shouts out to my son, Jordan Love. He throwing it to every receiver over there.
You said Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Yeah, niggas, he figured it out for sure. Nigga. I don't know how the Packers keep getting away with this, just having great quarterback after great quarterback. I wouldn't say he's great yet, but
he's on his way. I give him 2 more years. We'll be talking about Jordan Love like we talk about. I'm not gonna say Patrick Mahomes.
I was gonna say, please don't say Mahomes.
Yeah, no, I can't say that. But there's no quarterback I can equate to him. Tua? Maybe?
Nah.
I feel like we already talked about him like we talked about Tua.
Yeah, Tua's brain is mush. I ain't gonna talk about anybody like I talk about Tua or compare anybody to Tua.
I don't know if Tua knows about Tua.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could be like Jared Goff.
Okay.
Jared Goff been balling this year.
Matt Stafford twin.
Man.
Twin? What's up, twin? Where you playing this year? The place I played last year. That's cool.
Matt Stafford was good for a while, for a long time actually. He got his ring. Now Jordan Love has to. Now Jordan Love. Now it's hilarious that now he's gone. Now the Lions are good, but he got his ring, so it's cool.
He throwing the fuck out of the ball over there. I don't know who he's throwing it to, but
Jared Goff.
Love is better than Tua. I know he is. It was more of a joke.
Oh no, man! Full power to it, man. He's still him.
Tua know he's on the field at this point?
I mean, he did a press conference. He seemed okay. He seemed like he was all there, or I mean, as much there as he was before. Didn't seem like he lost too many brain cells. Just a couple hundred or so.
You're on the same level as Kodak.
Nah, I think Kodak's cooked. That nigga might have 4 or 5 left. Yeah, 2 is him. And he's running one of the best offenses in the league when he's healthy, man.
I was all behind Tua when he first got to the league. Don't get me wrong. Like I loved Tua so much, and then
nigga's an idiot.
Now, like Jared said, his brains are baked mashed potatoes.
I'll give you. I can't. I was gonna say maybe Stroud. I can't do that. Nigga. Definitely not Dak. Nah.
You said Stroud's not better than Tua?
Nah.
I honestly haven't watched enough on Stroud to say anything about Stroud, but I can definitely say that Love is way better than Tua, but Dak is not.
CJ Stroud is a lot better than he should be. CJ Stroud is better than Dak and Jordan Love. Alright, that's hate. As Kale said, Tua is the left-handed Drew Brees. He just can't stay on the field, unfortunately. His brain. He was the shit he did this year was insane.
And hopeful that he's coming back.
Who?
Larry.
Oh, Larry has him still. He's gonna come back.
Y'all are trying to kill this man.
He said like week 8.
Man to die.
I mean, if he's willing to give his life for the game, who am I to stop him?
That nigga's arm is gonna be stuck. Y'all want him to look like Muhammad Ali.
Sure, as long as he doesn't dive head first in any more niggas. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Is a player. We're gonna watch Tua dive for 6 yards.
You got a slide, my boy. That shit was dumb as hell.
Get conked by a linebacker, and he's gonna spin in a circle, and then he's not gonna get up, and it's not funny. It's not. It's so sad.
There's either if this nigga forgot he forgot about the concussions, obviously that's a huge problem. But knowing that about his concussions and diving head first into a nigga is absolutely bonkers.
He's gonna want that first down.
That shit don't make no fucking sense. If that nigga's too far gone for me.
No,
but if he wants to give his life for the game, nigga, that's like I said, bro. It's about passion. We lost that passion. We used to be a country, nigga. Niggas used to be wanting to die for their country.
Tua still has that passion.
You can die for the love of the game. Spent my whole life playing football. I lived on the field. I'll die on the field. Church.
Come off the field saying, that's the game.
You know what I'm saying? As long as he can still throw a bullet, man. I ain't gonna tell him not to play. She.
Oh, church. Oh, church.
Why are all my niggas questionable on all my teams? Oh shit, I gotta.
That's because you didn't pick up Devontae Wick.
Who?
Devontae Wick.
Oh, Dontavian Wicks? That nigga's. Poochies. That nigga Jordan Love does want to throw to everybody for some reason. It seems like.
I've been telling y'all that forever. And Larry swears that he's just going to throw to Jalen Reed. And Jalen Reed hasn't had a good week in 2 weeks. He had a midweek a week and a half ago.
Yeah, Jaden Reed was going crazy.
He was going crazy. What did he do last week?
I don't know. I don't have that nigga on none of my teams.
I bet you Romeo Dobbs did about the same numbers.
That's gross. Now, I'm pretty sure Jaden Reed was ass last week for sure.
No, I know he was. You know I be looking at. That's one thing I do. Is I keep what my son be doing. He threw the ball to everybody.
Yes, I keep what my son be doing. Oh, church.
It's my son. Oh, it's me and you this week. I didn't even know that.
You playing me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, church.
Well, it's been 3 hours.
That's gross.
As much fun as I'm having just sitting here talking, we'll go ahead and end it because being live is different than just having raw conversation. This nigga Roderick is snoring. I'm sure it's in the background. As I always say, it's been real. It's been fun. Some people will say it's been real fun, but you know what? Fuck you till